Let's try this again. It's your girl MariahSincere, and I am back with another bomb live. For those of y'all who are new to my channel, I'm an American woman who has been living abroad for the past 2 years. I started out in Medellin, Colombia, and I will be transitioning my content to the Dominican Republic. I will still be going back and forth to Colombia and experiencing Colombia as a tourist. But for now, this is where I'm going to be planting my roots. With that said, guys, I went live earlier, and this is one of the problems with living on the island, y'all. The internet went out for quite some time. I had to call the Airbnb owner. I don't know what they did, but they got it back up and going. So we're back up. Okay. So, guys, today we have a very interesting show to talk about. Now, I'm going to reiterate what I said when I tried to do this live the first time. I am for all Americans, including men, being able to move abroad and leverage their dollar. I am not hurt at all or affected at all by American men who say they don't like American women. American women are not their cup of tea, and they would like to move abroad and find a woman, or they prefer the dating market abroad. I do not care. I am not phased. It never affected my dating life. I'm just being honest, okay? I also support men's right to do pay for play so long as they are doing it in a country where it is legal, and so long as these men are only sleeping with women who are of a legal age of consent. And I will say them age gap things, even if it is legal, that's like, what? Like, if you 50 and you hunching on an 18-year-old, you out of order. You need to be under the jail, in my opinion. But hey, the law is the law. With that said, this is not what this is about. This is about these passport pookies, right? And I don't care. I don't care if you're a person that wears glasses or you have a degree in political science. I don't care if you were nerdy and you never got any play. To me, a passport pookie is not dependent upon whether or not you come from the hood. I don't, because it's a lot of dudes that come from the hood, that come from little means, and they know how to comport themselves better than some of y'all men who were raised in these suburban areas and are well-spoken, but you act like you ain't never got no cootie cat before. There are a whole bunch of men from the hood that travel that would never do some of the shit that y'all do and put it on the internet. Okay, this is about fact. I have always said, and I have always been of the mind that, again, I support men's right to pay for play. But at the same time, it's just certain things that shouldn't go on the internet. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And some of y'all will go to these countries like Colombia, and when you get pushback or people are like, hey, we don't like the way that y'all are portraying us, or we don't like the way that y'all continue to just blast this all over the internet. Y'all know what's the first thing y'all say? Well, if y'all don't want us doing it, then why is it legal? It's like, damn, that's such a childish, immature mindset. So for you to not take shit to the extreme, people literally have to take it away from you. You can't just act like you got some sense and go do it in private and get off the internet bragging to each other, because let's be clear, who brags about sleeping with prostitutes? But anyway, I digress. Now, as I was saying in the last video, I'm going to put this story out again because I'm going to delete that last live because it went out. There was a man in Colombia, a white man, he wasn't older, but probably middle-aged white man, who was arrested in Bogota, Colombia, because he was accused of making one of his adopted children go down south on him on the balcony, right? Now, I saw the video that was circulating, and they blurred the child's face. They blurred out the activity that was happening. But if you just looked at the blurred images, it did appear that something nefarious was going on, and that child might have been, giving that man, some lip service. But upon further investigation and questioning, the Colombian government has come out and said that this man is innocent and has cleared him of all charges. So I want to apologize to this man. I don't know his name. I didn't see his name in the news. I want to apologize. But I also want to say this. You have to understand that there is an issue going on, not just in Medellin, but in places like Thailand globally, where you have a lot of older white, I'm not saying it's even the majority. I'm sure it's a very small minority of the white men who travel, who are going abroad to travel for the purposes of harming children. So people are fatigued. They are tired of it. Now, I was accused of being a racist for saying that. And I want to reiterate, because I have also came down and broke those statistics down on my channel. No, adults harming children is not a racial thing. As a matter of fact, when we look at the statistics in the United States, the rate at which people harm children in the United States in that way is proportional to their racial demographic makeup. Do you understand? It's in proportion. So people are doing it at the same rates in proportion to their racial representation. I hope that makes sense for y'all. But with that said, it does seem like white men will go out of their way more by traveling to try to protect themselves or to hide it. They don't solely rely on community protection or people turning a blind eye. Okay. So they're more willing to go that extra step and travel. Now, with that said, let's get into it. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but maybe last month I had Robert Eaton on here from Remote Living Gringo. So for those of y'all who don't remember who he is a white guy. And I say that because he's one of the few that's in this space. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, he is your average passport bro, so to speak, okay? And what do I mean by that? I mean your original, what it was originally intended for, okay? He made a good living in the United States. He had success there. He took his dollars here to Colombia. He leveraged it when he got here. He said on my live stream that, yes, he did participate in some play-for-play activities when he first got to Colombia. Then he calmed down, met his wife. Now he's married. He has a 3-year-old son. And his issue is my issue, right? It's the disrespect. It's the promoting this shit online. It's the constant disrespect and bashing of women, right? So he started coming out and speaking out about these issues. And guess what happened? A whole bunch of, we're going to call them passport pookies. We ain't even calling them passport bros. Passport pookies mass reported his page on Instagram. So he was down for like a whole week. And I'm not even going to hold you. I was worried about our boy because I thought he was not going to be back. But guess what? A couple of days ago, he was back up and running. Now, he has reported that since he has been off of Instagram, they have threatened, they have went so far as to find his wife and make threats against his wife. And not only that, he has come back with the additional news that a lot of these passport bros, it was like over 100 members in a group, are in a group chat actually sharing videos, and y'all know what type of videos and photos of the women who they have slept with, whether they be girls that they dealt with, regular girls, or working girls. And to that I say, this is the type of, this is that. That's that shit. That is the reason why there is so much backlash. That's it. This type of shit right here. And I'm going to show y'all, we're going to head over to Robert's channel or his YouTube page. And I'm going to go over, I'm going to show y'all the videos of what was going on before he got his page taken down. And like, shout out to Instagram for making the right call on that, because he was doing nothing but speaking up against foolishness. That's it. That's all. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all the type of videos that he was sharing to his channel that was making people mad and mass report him to begin with.
Behavior inside the Passport Bro community needs to come to an end. And this is why I'm saying the Passport Bro movement needs to be dead. We need to start a new one. This right here is from the Passport Cartel official Facebook group. So if you're an admin in this group, right, you need to do better. Content like this should not be out in the group for people to see, to encourage.
Now, I think I heard of the Passport Cartel one time before on Andre's channel. Finally, the truth. Here's the thing, finally, the truth. I'm not disagreeing with you. The reality of the matter is this, though. Passport bros can't even define themselves. I'm being honest. So you're saying passport bros can only be black? I was just on a live with a panel and you had a black man, and one of the black men was trying to say that black men are not the face of the passport bros movement. That the biggest passport bros, the ones that are the face of the movement, are the white men. Okay. And I had to debunk that by just doing a simple YouTube search. He said, when you search men traveling abroad, for black men don't even come up. And then when I did the research, y'all was the first ones to come up. So it's like there's all this arguing in between y'all as to who can and cannot be a passport bro. That's just the reality of the matter. Or then when we talk about certain things that passport bros do, guess what? It's been what white men been doing it before us. So guess who the original passport bros then? Y'all understand? So it's like y'all can't even define it. Y'all can't even agree. My whole thing is, if it look like a duck, act like a duck, and quack like a duck, it's a duck. It's a duck. And if y'all want to go by, I listened to BMT talk about the original definition of a passport bro was using global arbitrage in order to leverage your dollar. Robert did that. And going and seeking more traditional relationships. Now, I don't know if Robert was necessarily seeking a more traditional relationship, but he actually settled down and got married to a Colombian woman. We define yourself. My point is the we and the we define ourselves can't even agree, is my point. But I digress. Okay.
Courage to support in any way, right? Hey, she began to send me pictures of that monkey and that donkey. They were fat. So y'all know ninjas love that fat monkeys and donkeys. So I couldn't resist.
Oh, what? I'm reading. Hold on. I gotta read this post that was in Passport Cartel Official. Yo, be aware of a lot of these mangoes. Y'all know mangoes is codes for pro with kids think they slick. I had one come over at 4 a.m. this morning. Why would you post this on Facebook? But leading up to her coming, we was going back and forth and messages. She was basically telling me she needed that X so that she needed X so that she can have a sitter, maybe money to watch the kids. And she also needed X. So I guess the X means money for the taxi. I told her, no, thanks. I'll pass. She then began to send me pictures of that monkey, meaning that cootie cat, and that donkey, and both were fat. So y'all know ninjas love fat monkeys and donkeys. So I couldn't resist. As I'm laying in my Airbnb, I'm like, you know what? F it. It's 2026. Now I start to indulge in a conversation, and I took me a couple of shots of rum, and I began to let that ish flow. So I told this motherfucker, first, I'm a yardie. Don't insult my intelligence with your lies. I'm not new to this. So don't think I'm a motherfucking rookie. A lot of these dudes may be simping just because you look pretty, but I already know you don't have no damn babysitter and you're going to give your kids to a relative while you go out. I already know that whoever brings you to me by taxi, he is probably connected to you. Not giving you money, but I will give you money. No, so I guess she's saying I'm not giving you this dollar amount, but I'll give you this dollar amount. Take it or leave it. I also told her that I will send the Uber. She went silent for about an hour. But at 3:30 a.m., okay, now I can't read it because Robert's head. What? This crazy story.
Says I'm laying in my Airbnb. I like, that I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's 2026, right? Then as he goes down farther in here, talks about how he kicks her out and doesn't feed her breakfast or whatnot, makes her carry on her way. This type of shit.
Why is there something to brag about? I don't understand. Why don't you put this in the Facebook group? I can understand a man calling his homeboy and having this type of conversation with his homeboy, right? Cool. Y'all close. You want to talk about your life with your friends. Why the hell y'all be putting this type of shit on Facebook to brag to other men about? And this is what I'm talking about. Homosexual behavior. Homosexual behavior. Because who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to impress? Because whoop-de-freaking-do. A prostitute was trying to get over on you, and you treated her bad, and you paid her less money than what she asked for. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Do y'all understand how this foolishness sounds? Hey, by golly, Batman.
Right here is disgusting, guys. It's appalling. I don't know how talking like this and behaving like this makes you feel good about yourself in any way. Makes you feel like you're some high caliber man. The behavior like this right here, it supports the argument that says you can't get anybody in your country because you're here, because there's not a single high caliber woman in the United States that would ever fuck with the guy that talks like this, looks at people like this, and treats people like this. And this is
my whole thing is this: it ain't even an issue that you paying for cat. That ain't the issue. It's this woman is clearly poor. She poor enough that to where she got to come humble herself and come try to beg, like literally beg you to pay for her cat. And you take it upon yourself to go on the internet and not only brag about it, but then brag about how you mistreated her. It's clearly like a power play. And that's crazy. Just pay for the cat and send her on her way. To go put it in a Facebook group and then to brag about mistreating her. And then it's like other men are reading that and probably getting off on that too. That's crazy when you literally could have just paid for the cootie cat and went on. Literally could have just paid for the kitty cat and went on. Here's the thing that irritates me. He's not a bro. That's an agent working to give. Well, first of all, he don't define himself as a bro. I was the one saying that if you want to go by what the passport bros was originally intended to be, what did BMT say? That this was men moving abroad to leverage their dollar and to find traditional relationships. Okay, well, Robert actually did that. He actually moved abroad. Yeah, he had his fun when he first went to Colombia. He's been upfront about that, but he kept it private. And then when he was ready to settle down, he got him a Colombian wife. He has a 3-year-old kid with her, and he's invested into Colombia, bought property out there. So if you ask me in terms of what was the original definition of a passport bro, he more of a passport bro than the majority of these men that are claiming to be passport bros, but they really just traveling for cootie cat and not really planting themselves anywhere. Y'all understand? He's more of that definitional passport bro than these men claiming to be passport bros, but they're really just going from country to country looking for sex and like wanting to brag to other men about it. He's more of it than that. I don't care about skin color. Now, he is not claiming to be a passport bro. And the man got upset and he called out this behavior. Why? Because it's lame behavior. And here's the thing, men in these type of environments, y'all wonder why y'all had so many freaking problems with women in the United States. I'll start with the first problem. You can't shut the fuck up. Who's supposed to give you some cootie cat and you finna run and go pillow talk and tell everybody? Or who want to send you some nasty photos and you gonna send them photos to your homeboy? You can't get shit behaving like that. And some of them can't see who is the problem. You are the problem, sir. Do you know how much more play a lot of y'all would have been getting from American women if you just learned to shut the fuck up? Quit running your mouth Every time somebody pay you any mind or attention, shut up. Y'all be one of the baddest bitches, but she looking at you knowing you a lame and you finna go tell it. Why would she give you any coochie? Keep exposing these degenerate clouds. Like, it's too much.
The kind of behavior, this is the kind of guy that you see popping up in the passport bro movement and community every day. You guys that are the OGs, the BMTs and the OGs out there of the world, you can't say what a passport bro is and isn't anymore, because these are passport bro groups. This is the content that is being posted. Admins are allowing it to be posted. Guys are supporting it, encouraging it, and behind it. So it's time that we just nip this thing in the butt. To say I'm a passport bro at this point should be looked upon, like frowned upon, man. Like, you know, who would want to say there that we need to start a new way, right? Single men being part of community, traveling, sharing their experience, all that stuff is great. But this whole passport bro movement just needs to be dead because the shit is toxic.
So that was his opinion. That was his opinion. And again, this was the opinion of a man who did what BNT originally said the movement was supposed to be for. Or what men, y'all know I listen to Andre, like Andre said the movement is for. He went abroad, leveraged the success he already had, got married, bought property in Colombia, has his own businesses, right? But like he's saying, this is too tarnished. It's too much ink in the water. Now you have some people, again, like Andre believes the movement can be saved with these countries getting stricter and more gatekeeping. The problem is that every time people try to gatekeep or try to expose certain behaviors, then it's automatically brushed off as, oh, well, that's not a passport bro. But they're claiming they're passport bros. And that's the problem. And there's no way to check these men. Y'all not really able to check these men. So guess what? It don't matter what, this is his point he's trying to make. It don't matter what you say it is. It matters what the world believes the movement is about. Do you understand? That don't mean that men can't travel, leverage their dollars, marry foreign women, none of that. But as far as the movement, it's too much going on. The fact is some men want to feel good to other men, and it's weird. Hey, look what I paid for. It's like, yeah, caring more about what another man think about you than what women think about you. And that's why I say a lot of that shit is rooted in homosexual behavior. Same way how I say, me personally, I am not a gay woman. I don't like women. So I'm not out here doing all that stunting and fronting for women. Do y'all understand? So for example, gonna be the first. I got a man and I'm in love. I'm cooking, baby. I'm cooking. I am. He asked me to make some coffee, making it. You want a sandwich and finna go in there and make it? Do you understand? I don't gotta sit up and brag to other women about how I mistreat my man or I don't do anything my man asked me to do. Cause I don't want to be with them hoes. I don't want to sleep with them at night. No, if I got a good man, first of all, I wouldn't even be with him if he's not a good man. Let's start there. So if I got a good man, absolutely, I am. And am. Hello. To do all that fronting and stunting for people of your same sex, to me, that's homosexual. That means you want to sleep with them. You care more about impressing them, in my opinion. Okay, you sitting up talking about it's none of the white boy business. It is that white man's business. And you know why it's his business? Because he lives in Colombia, has bought property in Colombia. He's an American. So all of that behavior reflects on him as well. He got to deal with the stares. See, the problem is, y'all, again, you don't understand. This is why all these passport bros are black. No. In Colombia, passport bros are American men. You can shout to the rooftop, passport bros are only black men. No. Whenever you see an American, a white American get in trouble in Colombia, you know what they start calling him? A passport bro. That's who they think it is. It don't matter what you say it is what the public perceives it to be. So yes, it is his business, very much so. In any race of man's business, that is an American man. Having an opinion is one thing versus getting involved in contacting immigration is a totally different thing. Are you talking about with Robert? Well, here was the thing. He's gonna talk about it. They was finding his wife and sending her messages and threatening her. So y'all better expect him to go. If people was mad at what he had to say before, y'all don't understand. I'll talk to Robert behind the scene. Y'all don't know who that man connected to. And that's why when y'all start getting into it with certain people, y'all don't know what's going on behind the scene. I don't come on here and say, I know a lot of shit I don't come on here and say. Y'all picked the wrong white boy. Not you, Backshot Delivery. But the ones who came at him definitely picked the wrong white boy. I'm telling you now. That was the last white boy in Medellin to fuck with. No, it's absolutely not. I have one. It's not. I like that I have it, but it's not. Facts, perception always wins. What is perceived will be the truth unless proven otherwise. Yeah. I mean, goddamn, all the white boys to fuck with in Medellin, y'all chose Robert Eaton. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. So let's see. What else did he say that got people mad?
Guys, it's time for the passport bro movement just to be dead, man. It's become too toxic, right? We need to find, like, I love the aspect of community, brotherhood. Men need to have community of other men around them. I'm a firm believer in it. But man, we got to get away from like cheap pay for play, poor islands, and some of like just the nasty stuff that's happened like that. The passport bro movement needs to die and something else needs to be born, right? And like, and I don't know who's going to take up that movement. It's not going to be me, but I'm just throwing out the ideas, man. And I even looked up some names like, what do you guys think? A, are we with it? B, like, you know, this would be like some names that are similar. You know, I don't know if I'm really with any of these here, but maybe you guys are. We got some more right here, you know, the refined traveler, the global gentleman, man without borders, right? The cultural explorer.
I like that. Man without borders.
I don't know, man. This is just some ideas here, but I'm just.
But here's the problem. I don't think any one of those will be able to get from underneath the shadow of the passport bros movement. And here's the thing. You'd have to gatekeep that shit so hard. And the problem is, for example, that's why certain things need to be more than just the ideology. It needs to be official and on paper. So if y'all are going to start any type of other movement, there needs to be, for example, people can't just claim that they are part of Delta Sigma Theta. Or nobody can just claim that they're a part of Alpha Kappa Alpha fraternity. Why? Because they have membership roles. You have to pay dues. There is initiation. So they can literally take legal recourse against you if you are claiming to be a part of their organization and you are absolutely not. So basically, when you have a movement that's unofficial and there are no legalities tied to it and no way of people to check if you're actually a part of it, this is the shit that is eventually going to happen. Whether you change the name or not, because you always are going to have people who are bad actors. And that's why the legalities and the gatekeeping is necessary. One thing I will say is white men don't like seeing black men travel. I mean, perhaps I don't think that's true about Robert, because most of his friends, his male friends in Colombia are black men. He's like in with that community, right? I remember my Spanish teacher told me that her ex-white American boyfriend used to tell her how bad black American people are. Oh, wow. I mean, yeah. I mean, certainly there are some that don't like us. I wouldn't say that about Robert at all. Because like he's been in with a lot of these guys for years now. He was one of the first to come out and defend, Chill Capo. I wouldn't say that necessarily about. He's fair. He's a fair-minded person.
It's a firm believer in like the passport bro movement, man, is that like the countries, they don't want it, man. Like they're done with it, So how do we move in a different direction, right? Where you still have community of men, but you're sharing like the amazing part of a culture. Hey, I was in Cancun. I'm snorkeling with whale sharks, man. I'm at this cenote. I'm at Chichen Itzan, man. Like I went to Merida. Like I experienced the culture, right? To where other people see it, not just single men are attracted to these places, but other types of tourism come, and we could be seen as valuable to the locals because we come, and then other types of tourism comes behind it. We come, right? We respect the people, right? We tap into other resources. Multiple people benefit from us. We're not just here trying to find the place to get the best escorts, right? The old toxic way of the passport bro movement needs to be done, and someone needs to head up leading a new group of men that still travel the world, build relationships, right? Where the countries are like, hey, come back, stay longer, don't go, instead of you're not allowed in because you have a freaking condom in your wallet. We got to get away from it, guys.
Okay, let's see what else he was saying. Oh, I think in this one he called out BMT, and this is what pissed people off.
One of the OGs in the passport bro movement was on a podcast recently, a good show. I watched it, Jamie, but big props to you on that. And he was
okay. Y'all remember when BMT went on Jamie Wood's show? So Robert watched that interview, and this was the criticism he had for BMT. Now, BMT was basically saying people are misrepresenting the passport bros, right? And I actually talked about that. I'm not going to go through that again, but let's see what Robert had to say.
Ask, are passport bros to blame for the deportations, the people not getting admitted into countries like Colombia, cities like Medellin and Dominican Republic? And here's what he had to say.
No, not at all. I think like the sneak cam dudes really, played a large part in it.
What he don't understand is that the average person doesn't differentiate between a passport bro who is traveling with the goal of settling down in a country and actually finding a traditional relationship and a sneak cam dude. At this point, passport bro is a catch-all phrase for solo American men that travel. And that's just the reality of the matter. Especially since a lot of these men are saying, sneak cam dudes are saying they are passport bros. That's what they calling themselves. And there's nothing BMT can do to stop them. The average Colombian don't know what the hell a sneak cam dude is.
In that role. But like I said before, man, passport bros is more so about a mindset and an ideology. Than like any type of form of membership or club or anything like that. And it's funny, man, because early on, I always tried to attract a certain type of guy to this term. Guys that, understand that, like you said before, early.
Didn't I say, I've said this before, I'll say it again. The road to hell is paved with good intention. This is not just an issue with the passport bros movement. A lot of movements start out with good intentions, but the thing is, sometimes it just grows beyond you, and it's just difficult to control. So I'm not necessarily blaming him at all for what the situation has devolved into. What I will say is he's failing to acknowledge that the situation as a whole has devolved and the real reasons why it has devolved.
In the interview that, hey man, we kind of on a thin line.
So as you see, he's taken no responsibility for the movement that he's a huge part of getting momentum behind. And so I want to ask you, BMT, right? Are guys posting about pay for play not part of the problem? Are guys coming here doing drugs not part of the problem? Are guys coming here cheating on their spouses?
Well, BMT would probably argue that those are passport bros. So any man that claims that they're, and here's the logic that he uses, right? It's like, oh, if you come in here cheating on your wife, not a bro, okay? If you're coming here and you're doing pay for play, not a bro. If you're going from country to country, sleeping with women and leaving a string of broken hearts, not a bro. If you're putting all this on social media and talking about all the women, not a bro. So anytime there's bad behavior within the movement, the response, the automatic deflection is they're not a bro. So then they never have to address the issues or never have to check the people that's causing problems or false claiming, so to speak. And I'm not saying BMT has never done that, but it's not being done enough. It's a whole bunch of sex pets on here claiming to be passport bros. And not too many are checking them.
Is not part of the problem. Our guys here coming and degrading the local is not part of the problem, because you could say that it's about a mindset all you want, but what we say and what is actually real are two different things, right? And at the end of the day, the only people's opinion that actually matters about the passport bro movement are the countries that we're coming into, and the locals are disgusted with the passport bro movement. So how is it that they could be so disgusted with them, and then you say that they're not to blame, and then you say in there as well that, you know what, we were very careful about how.
That's delusional. That is delusional. The reality of the matter is the locals know exactly what group, when they want to blame all of their whatever's going on, they know exactly what group they're gonna turn around and blame. It's gonna be passport bros. They know it. They know y'all by name. They know y'all by name. They calling you by name. They're not saying creep cam guys. Most aren't using the term sex pets. None of that. They calling the movement. They calling you out by name, sir. Regardless of what it started. And that's why I'm saying, when you just sweep things under the rug instead of addressing it head on, the problem just gets worse. There's no real check to their brand. There's not. And guess what? I mean, there are ways to go about it. It's going to require a lot of effort and work.
Who we had come in, because we knew we were walking the fine line. You knew, right, that there could be issues, and now there is issues, but you say the passport bros aren't to blame. So who is to blame for all the bullshit that's going on? I genuinely want to ask you that question.
You know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, all we can do is just, you know, just hold the line of, you know, what we define as passport bros. We're not going to let the media define it, and we're not going to allow the media to just point at anybody that do something effed up.
Well, you don't have no choice.
Again, BMT, you don't get to define it anymore, man. You said it's not a membership, it's not a club, it's a mindset, so that the people that are having to deal with it every day get to determine what it is. And right now it's toxic, unhealthy, degrading of women, paying for sex. It's pretty much be acting like a low life, right? And you bring it up in the comments, right? And when you answer here, trying to keep that away. But at the end of the day, you haven't done that job, right? Disgusting behavior is going on. Look inside the groups that are called Passport Bro and look at some of the behavior that's happening there. And instead of trying to deflect, right, why don't you start to get honest, right, and start to address the movement and the community that you helped build and get people to start acting right, so we all don't start to get deported from countries. One of the OGs in the Passport Bro movement was on a podcast recently, a good show. I watched it. Jamie put props on that. And he was asked,
when the bad actors be like, again, I'm not talking about all black men or all men who travel to these other countries and you want to make a life or you want to find a wife or whatever the case may be, or even if you want to do pay for play within its legal limits and you are behaving, you're not putting that shit on the internet. Do you understand? I'm not talking about y'all, right? This is the crux of the matter. Whenever people speak up against the ones that are doing way too freaking much on the internet, the conversation always devolves into well, you're just inserting yourself into our space, or you're just, what does it have to do with you? Meanwhile, there was a girl right now. Let me see if I can find her page. The same way y'all was doing me. Why am I in Colombia? There's another Dominican chick, very beautiful girl. Hold on.
This is my first.
I ain't trying to share that. Very beautiful girl. And she don't talk about nothing that got to do with passport bros. She's had to make videos talking about how these men are coming in her comments, harassing her, trying to pick at her self-esteem. And she be addressing these men so polite, because I get on your ass. It's just married, living nice in Medellin, got a beautiful apartment that she shows. The girl just be living her life, minding her business. Here y'all come. Here again, this is a faction, that bitter faction, that he-man, woman-hating faction of the Passport Bros movement. Just fucking mad to see a woman abroad and happy. And can't nobody defend themselves against y'all unless y'all getting y'all freaking feelings, even though y'all coming for the women first. Colombia and many other countries have defined what a passport bro is. Facts. It's out of y'all hands. What did that man say? It's above me now. It's above y'all now. Why do you think they got ran out of DR? Oh, you don't have to update me on that because I didn't know they got ran out of DR. I had no clue they got ran out of DR. So those were the videos that Robert was putting out that basically made people mass report him to Instagram, and they got his channel taken down for a week. And luckily, he was able to get his channel back up through the appeals process. And my whole thing is this, though. Why would y'all report? He didn't say nothing wrong. You don't have to agree with what he said. Fine. Y'all gotta agree with nothing he said. But he was not saying nothing wrong. Even if you don't agree, okay, that the Passport Bros movement is done or whatever the case may be, what he was saying was not wrong. Okay? It was not wrong. And here's the thing, people be saying men need to check other men. And then when men check other men, guess what? Other men start mass reporting people's channel or their Instagram page acting sissified. To me, that's whole shit. That's just like when Valentina didn't like that she lost that debate against me, and she went and put a copyright claim on my video, even though it was my video, because she came on my platform to debate me, and I own the rights to the video. Whole shit. Y'all understand? Bitter bitch shit. Claiming to be a man, but you are out here acting like a whole sissy. It is bad compared to like what's going on right now in the DR. In my opinion, like immigration way cooler in DR. Colombia, I didn't realize how strict Colombian immigration was until I came to DR. Okay, now let's see what else he says.
Passport bros aren't the problem. Words that came right out of the mouth of BMT guy, I guess, who is credited for coming up with the term passport bros. Well, BMT, I'm going to introduce you to Melvin. Melvin is a passport bro. You'll find him in groups like Passport Cartel.
Not Melvin, y'all. Every time I hear Melvin, I think about that movie Baby Boy, when that man was hopping around doing leapfrog with Jody Mama. Let's continue.
He's in text threads with other men. Here's a document for Melvin, who is now banned from coming to Colombia. He cannot enter the country. He was removed from the country. He tried to re-enter to see if they was really banned, where he found out in Cartagena he was banned, okay? Now, who is Melvin, right? Well, here's a text message.
Why I've seen that men re-entering the country after getting banned, trying to see if them people playing with y'all. Didn't they tell you they weren't playing with you? Didn't they tell you when they banned you that they was for real? You didn't believe them? Okay, I can understand that maybe he went through an appeals process and got the decision reversed. But to just say I'm gonna take a trip to look and see, sir, be so for real.
Message from Melvin talking about he's going to go to Panama and he needs to know about mangoes and how much they cost. What is a mango? Well, a mango is an escort, a prostitute, and that's what he refers to them as. I thought passport bros were going for genuine connection and they respected people. I don't think that like calling someone a mango and a prostitute and seeking out prostitution falls in line with that BMT, but I could be wrong. But Melvin doesn't stop there. Let's keep going. Serious question. This isn't a passport bros group where you guys say that you're all about genuine connections. If you bros could thank your chica's novio or esposo for the one thing, what would it be? Please keep it PG. Guys, that's so beta, man. It's some real beta shit. I would thank Alejandro for dropping Chica off on the moto in a timely fashion. You guys are fucking scumbags. Melvin, you're a scumbag. It doesn't stop, though. Melvin likes to pop things up in threads here. Sharing hoes also helps brothers. BMT, I thought you guys were about genuine connection. Is sharing hoes part of that genuine connection, or am I missing something? But Melvin doesn't just have them in Medellin. He's got them in Cartagena too. Mangoes in Cartagena, right? He's sharing. Well, fortunately for you Mango ladies, you're safe from Melvin because he can't get back into the fucking country. But now my question for you, BMT, and any of you guys, Alan McCall, right, who owns Passport Bros, Spanish countries, fucking Facebook group with 40,000 men. I want to see you guys come to me face to face, mano a mano, and try to convince me that your community is anything more, anything less, right, than fucking toxic scumbags, simps, lowlifes, man. And not to say that there ain't some good men in there, but your movement as a whole is fucking trash, right? This is what it represents. And you could say that it's something else, but it isn't. It's fucking garbage, man.
Robert, you got bald. He was going hard. Oh, he wasn't playing with their ass. He was going hard. Me, I at least try to spare y'all feelings. Like, baby, he was not sparing no feelings at all. He ain't give a damn. He said, come face to face with it. Shit. Robert, you had my respect, sir, because you was not playing with them.
Man, Passport Bro movement is dead. We need to do away with it. People are being deported, denied entry. This shit is over, and the movement is just full of low-life scumbags that can't get no booty in the U.S. I guess the locals were right. Jeez. Passport Bros aren't the problem. Words that came right out.
Robert. Whoa. Now let's see what he posted. Let's see what he said here. Oh, here he tried to post a men's retreat. This says the hardest man to face is the one in the mirror. You've carried the weight, the business, the family, the responsibilities. You've shown up for everyone else, but somewhere along the way, you stopped showing up for yourself. So look, he has a men's retreat in Medellin, September 14th through the 18th, and you have to apply if you want to go. So this is the man actually trying to do something to correct the problem, do something positive. And this is the man y'all choose to mass report. Be so for real, okay? Now, let's see what happened. Okay. This says the men that tried to have my account taken down.
What is going on, guys? We're back in the game. A group of Passport Bros tried to take me down, 7 of them. I know who they are. I know the guy that started it. The funny thing is I called him out, and at first he tried to lie about it. He didn't realize I had the text thread where he admitted it. So here's what we're about to do. A, you're not taking me down. But B, I am taking all of you guys down. All of you guys that are in groups, chat rooms, YouTube channels, secret.
Damn. You best believe that if you're on his shit list, let me tell you what I know about. Again, I don't say everything I know. But y'all picked the wrong white man in Medellin to play with. If you are on his shit list, best believe that clock is ticking for you. I truly hope you're ready. I truly hope you're ready. Pick the wrong fucking one.
Channels that are talking about traveling to hire escorts, degrading people, treating people like shit. We're getting all of the information. We are in all of your channels. We're in all of your groups. Today, I'm starting with the admins of the popular groups. You know who you guys are. You're going to be in my next reel. I'm going straight to the top. We're going after all of you guys. We're taking your names. We're taking the posts. We're taking your phone numbers. We're sending them to immigration and your asses. We're going to start with Colombia. Are not going to be able to get into Colombia.
I expect him to not get his get back. Now, the man tried to come on here and have a civil discussion. Then people went and mass reported his page. And if you've done Instagram or do any type of social media and you know the work that it takes in to get seen, and Robert be working his butt off, I honestly be feeling bad because my channel blew up, but he would be working harder on his page than me every single day. He's on his job, and my page, took off, faster than his. But he's growing though. He's growing. So it's like, if you've ever put any amount of work into growing a social media platform, and for people to just come and try to get you taken down because they don't like what you said, because they don't agree with what you said, or they feel a type of way, because them bullets touched and agreed with their spirit. Yeah, he back with a vengeance. He on your ass. So yeah, I understand. Like, I understand. I don't think no, Rob finna come get it back in blood. It is. I don't know if Robert is on YouTube. He had me on his podcast. I'm not sure what platform it's on. But if I find it out, because I'm sure I'm gonna have to come with an update on this story, y'all. Because he's not playing. He is not playing.
And then we'll move on from there. You guys wanted to go to war. I expose women for drugging people. They take their L's and move on. You guys act like a bunch of beta bitches and then want to go and try to have my stuff taken down instead of learning how to act right. Well, you got what you wanted, man.
Just say that hoe ass nigga reactions. Just hoes acting like a bunch of sissies.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're about to take an L a whole lot bigger than what you got the other day. So buckle up, Buttercup, and get ready. Because that group of you guys, Donnie, you're first, my man. So just be ready. Donnie, Alan, and the guy that's the admin, I forget your name, of Passport Cartel. Expect to see yourself featured today. I'm coming for all of you guys.
Oh, shit.
What is going on, guys? We're back in the game. A group.
Robert, I did not know you was coming like that. I did not know you was coming like that, Robert. Why is nobody else talking about this? That's passport boy behavior. Yeah. Robert sent me some info. What's up, Ray? Yeah, I did not know. And this is what I was saying, Ray. Out of all the white boys in Medellin they could have messed with, that's the one they choose? That one? That one? If you know like I know, they would have just let him sit and make his content and shut up and be quiet. Should have said nothing. Should have said nothing.
Passport bros are coming into places like Medellin, Cartagena, and Latin America and committing federal crimes. It is a
y'all ever just sit up and wonder why Robert gets to get on his YouTube page and talk the shit that he talk? He don't care. He talks shit about anybody in Colombia that he want to talk shit about. Y'all never, and be talking shit loud and exposing people that locals would never expose. And he's still walking around with his head on his shoulders. Y'all ever wonder why? Y'all never sat there and thought about that? I want you to think about that next time you come for somebody like that. Robert gets on his Instagram and says whatever the hell he wants to say. He say whatever the hell he want to say. Y'all didn't think about that for y'all came for this man? You didn't sit and think, why is he still walking around with his head on the swivel in Colombia of all places, exposing the shit that he exposed? Because he be exposing everybody. Okay. Think about stuff like that.
Illegal for you to secretly film a woman without her knowledge while you're having sex with her and then distribute that content in WhatsApp groups. Here recently, someone came to me with something disturbing where they showed me men, passport bros, are in a WhatsApp group where they are sharing sexual content with each other, where they have secretly filmed escorts, women that they hired, right? They secretly film them having sex with them and they are sharing it in a group.
Y'all know that's illegal.
And I'm not talking about a picture or two. I'm talking about.
Y'all know that's illegal because y'all ass can't do that in the United States. So why? That's what I'm saying. Y'all, some of y'all go abroad just to get away with illegal shit, knowing damn well you can't do that, and y'all know that's wrong. This kind of stuff pisses me off. Y'all know how like you have like it's like children. You know how when children go to somebody else's house and they behave in a way that they can't behave at their mama house. And a mama gotta say, you know you can't do that in my house. Why the hell you going to your friend's house and doing that, embarrassing me in public? That's how some of y'all men behave. Lame. Just lame. Kissing and telling. And wondering why didn't nobody in the United States want to give you no cootie cat. You don't deserve no cootie cat. You gonna film it and share it with your homeboys. Why?
video after video.
It's kind of like, and I hate to bring this lame ass nigga up, but I just got to. Y'all remember this the thing going on with the Homies Hub. I went on Mentuition channel and I talked about a dude, call him a passport bro, whatever you want to call it, an African-American male that I met and I had dated in Cartagena. And I talked about it on Mentuition channel. They took the video down. Here these niggas go, because they don't like me, because I had to check them, because I didn't like the way that they tried to represent me in one of the titles of their video, and you invited me on as a guest. And I don't treat my guests like that. I don't give a fuck. People can say, oh, well, we need certain type of titles for clicks and views. You treat your guests right, though. You do that on the shows where it's just yours. You treat your guests right. I always treat my guests that come on my channel right. I'll never misrepresent them. You understand? Anyway, I went on that channel, did that interview. They took it down. Now, you done took it down, so I can't even defend what was said. And here y'all go, calling, pillow talking with the Homies Hub. A grown-ass woman with a child. Duh, I've had sex before. What are we talking about? That's not news. Do you understand? I'm a grown woman with a child. You think I'm over here trying to pretend like I ain't had sex before? Oh my God, yeah. She was having sex. She was having sex. Lame nigga talk. So here come the Homies Hub, thinking he exposing me for some shit I already talked about. And then not only that, adding 20s on 10. She down there fucking on passport bros, making it seem like I'm down here and I'm just sleeping with multiple men and the whole community. Now you misrepresenting what was said. When I talk about one man, now you misrepresenting the fact of what was said and you lying on me. But even if I did, let's say even if I did, you're lame, sir, and you're kinder lame. Women are having sex. And then what? Women are having, this is news. And that's what I'm talking about. Y'all act childish and immature. And that's why I say, it's a certain type of man that behave like the dudes I deal with, they don't blink better eye at shit like that. Oh, I didn't know that. Bye, Ray. You be safe. Shoot, probably are.
Video after video, scrolling forever, right? With so much content, it's not even funny. Women that have no idea that they are being shared like prizes and trophy amongst groups of men. Groups of men who say that they are not part of the problem right now. That the country's deporting people, changing things around immigration is not because of the passport bros. Well, that there's only a few bad actors. Well, this group has hundreds of people in it. That's a lot more than a few, BMT.
Yeah.
Right. And tell me, right, when did become secretly filming someone become okay?
No, it's never okay.
And for the guys that are doing it, we got all your information. Got your names, got your phone numbers. We have everything.
I can't do that.
Right? Last week, some of you guys try to slow me down. You got the countdown for a little while, but we're not doing anything wrong. Right? We're exposing poor behavior. We're doing good, man. Instagram agreed with us. We're back up. Okay. We're going to continue to expose you. We are in your groups. We're in your Facebook groups. We're in your WhatsApp groups. We are everywhere. If you are going to try to sexually exploit kids, sexually exploit women, do dirty stuff in any of these countries, we are going to catch you doing it. We're going to turn it over to the people that can ensure that you will never come to these countries again. Right? So you guys, either act right or you won't be here at all. And
okay, so yeah, he going to immigration. Y'all came for him trying to get his stuff shut down. Before he was just sending a message, and now he said it's time to go to war. And he want to see results. And my whole thing is this: if you're not engaging in any of that type of behavior, or if you're not in any of those groups, you shouldn't even care because you're not even a part of that riffraff. Robert is the new dog, the bounty hunter. It is. It is. I'm not mad at it. Because again, y'all shouldn't have never messed with that man just for giving his opinions. Well, they not y'all, the people that's watching me, but people should not have never messed with that man. Okay, sex tourist versus bro. Are they different or the same? Let's see what he had to say.
Lately, there's been this talk between tourists and passport bros and what the difference is. And it's this simple, guys. How do the locals perceive it, right? And here's the thing. Passport bros are tourists because that's how they view it. And their perception is the only one that matters. Not you guys' perception inside your little Facebook groups or on your YouTube streams. What the locals say, what the citizens.
The only one that matters. Their opinion is what is going to determine immigration policy and elections. Do you understand? That's why their opinion is the only one that matters. You can't vote. The only thing you can do is choose to bring your dollars into a country. But guess what? Here's the thing. If Colombia is able to clean up its reputation, they can attract more money. You can always attract more money. What up, Chill Capo? Talk about my video I made about the white tourist versus the black tourist, who's really the PDFs. I'm going to go on your channel, Chill Capo. I'll go on there and talk about it. It's on your Instagram, right? I'll go on there. I was just saying at the beginning, before you came on here, at the beginning of this live, that because people were calling me racist and I had to come back. Is it on YouTube? Instagram. Okay. Hold on. I had to come back because you know that dude got in trouble with the boys situation on the balcony and people were calling me racist because I talked about the man's race. And I talked about how, let's be clear, PDF file behavior, if you look at the stats in the United States, it is proportional to race in America. What I mean by that, there's not, besides Native Americans, pretty much all other racial demographics do it at the same rate, right? But for whatever reason, white men choose to travel more to do it. And I don't know if it's because they rely less on the community protecting them, or they want to be more discreet about it, or whatever the case may be. But it's just a matter of fact, y'all, that majority of the time, when you see men getting deported from Colombia for PDF file behavior, it's going to be a white man. That's not me trying to say that that's a white man's thing, or that's only something white men do. I know that's not only something white men do. It's 1 in 4 black girls have been SA'd while they were underage. Okay, it's about the same for Hispanic kids in the United States, and these are the ones that's telling. And we ain't even gonna talk about all the boys that get touched and they don't say nothing. I wasn't trying to be racist, but it's just the reality that white men travel more to do it. Okay. Because I'm tired of the Colombians saying that the black people are the PDFs. No, I understand. No, I'm going to go on there. So put a pin in that. I'm going to go on there.
And say, okay, a single guy that's traveling to another country. Heck, it used to be me. Never was some passport bro. I was just Robert going to Mexico to live in Cancun for a little while. Robert here in Medellin, here to live for a little while. Wasn't in some type of organized community that just so happens to have group chats where they're sending around videos where they're secretly filming people. Passport bros are tourists. There is no difference. Lately, there's been this talk between...
The last part isn't the paying for the cootie cat. I understand men have different reasons why they go pay for cootie cat. I got a problem with that. Recording it and sending it to other men is wild. And like, I wonder how many of these women thought that they were girlfriends to these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, thought that, oh, we just dating, or I'm just giving him cootie cat off of GP. Like, he ain't even paid for it. And his raggedy ass set up a camera and sent it in a group chat.
Tourists and passport bros, and what the difference is. And it's this simple, guys. How do the locals perceive it? Right? And here's the thing, passport bros.
Foul behavior since slavery. Then why was they over there in Somalia last year protesting because they outlawed child marriage? They had to reverse the decision the next day. Them men was so hot they couldn't marry children. Black country. Okay. I'm not saying that kind of stuff was not done during slavery. I'm just saying white men ain't start that. That people messing with kids been going on since the beginning of time. Hell, y'all gotta understand the legal age. Are we even 100 years out? We are. We only a little over 100 years out from men not being able to marry and sleep with children in the United States. You understand? That's been going on for quite a long time. Let me tell y'all something. If we were to lower the legal age of consent in the United States to 12 years old, you would see a lot of these men that's online saying women are best between the ages of 18 and 25, and after that, they're no good. All of them will start showing their true colors. It's the law and only the law that keep them from messing with 12 and 13-year-olds and stuff like that. Okay, it's only that. I never said you said that, Robert. I didn't say that you said that. You got to watch the whole live. I never said you said there was anything wrong with pay for play. Never said that. I said at the beginning of the live that you came on here and talked about how you had your fun too, and that's not the problem. The problem is these type of behaviors, the sharing of the videos, the recording, all that extra stuff, the putting all this stuff on the internet. But I never said you said there was anything wrong with pay for play. It's the dirty stuff they are doing. Okay. I see what you're saying. He's just trying to clarify. Okay.
RS Taurus, because that's how they view it, and their perception is the only one that matters, not you guys' perception inside your little Facebook groups or on your YouTube streams. What the locals say, what the citizens say. Okay, a single guy that's traveling to another country, heck, it used to be me. Never was some passport bro. I was just Robert going to Mexico to live in Cancun for a little while. Robert here in Medellin, here to live for a little while. Wasn't in some type of organized community that just so happens to have group chats where they're sending around videos where they're secretly filming people. Passport bros.
Now, and this is the point when y'all be like, white man, stay out of this. How is this white man's business? Now it's his business, because guess what? Y'all will in one breath say, it ain't his business. He ain't a part of movement. But guess what? Because it's not based on your perception, it's based on public perception. He still has to deal with the consequences, even though y'all say he's not a part of it, because apparently his skin color is the determining factor. Y'all understand? He still got to deal with the judgment and accusations, regardless of whether or not y'all choose to include him or say a white man can or cannot be a passport bro. Which, again, he's denouncing the movement as a whole. So I think that matters not. But at the same time, all North American men are going to deal with the consequences of this behavior. That's why they get the right to speak up.
RS Taurus. There is no difference. Lately, there's been this talk between.
Okay, let's see what else was said. Robert, I ain't gonna hold you. You was coming for their neck. You was coming for their neck.
A foreign tourist was arrested in Yeres Park, and guess what it was? He was with a minor, right? Here's what happened when they went and they started to check these women ID. One of them had a fake ID. This is something, if you've been following me, I have been talking about for a while. Guys will go, you guys like to hang out with 18 and 19-year-old girls, right? There's 16 and 17-year-old girls out there with fake IDs, right? That will convince you that they're 18, 19. You go hanging out with them, and the cops don't care when they find her with a fake ID and she's underage. You are being arrested. You guys that are coming here to hang out with 18 and 19-year-olds, I just don't understand why you would put yourself in that kind of situation, because
Now, when I said it, y'all said I was just hating on y'all because don't nobody want my old ass. Y'all said I was just hating on y'all because y'all don't want my old ass. That's what they said, y'all. If you can't be a passport bro because of your skin color, that's whack. When I call out passport bros, I'm talking to men of all colors, not black men. Yeah. And what I was saying at the beginning of my live, when they was trying to say you can't be a passport bro because you're white. Robert, I don't know if you remember that interview. You did because you did video on it of that BNT did with Jamie. And he was like, the original intent of the passport bros movement was for men to be able to leverage their dollar and also go find traditional relationships. And I'm like, well, if anybody did that, that was Robert. I mean, we know you had success in the United States, but you were able to come to Colombia, stretch your success further, invest in property, find a Colombian wife, and you have a child. If anybody is the definition of what they believe is the original definition of a passport, bro, ain't that you? So how can a man be, if that's the original definition, how can a man be a passport bro and he's not doing those things, but yet he's going to country from country, sleeping with a whole bunch of women, but he can call himself a passport bro just because he's black? Make that make sense.
The citizens, the locals don't care. The police don't care. When she's a minor, she's a minor. You being the adult are the responsible party, right? There was 2 other girls, I guess, that are with her. They are adolescents with her. They took all 3, put them in protective custody. He's been turned over to the Attorney General's office.
A part of me wants to feel bad because, again, you don't know what you don't know, especially if somebody has fake ID. But then some of y'all be going for the youngest looking thing. Why? Because you know they the easiest, and half of the time they, you know, in y'all's mind, it's not always the case in countries like this where they grow up a little bit faster. But in y'all's mind, she gonna be the easiest to deal with and the slowest. So guess what? When you are practicing those type of behaviors, there are consequences that can ultimately come with that. You understand? It's some, I've seen some very thick, womanly working girls out there. Ain't no reason why y'all should be out there with no damn 18-year-old. If you gotta look and question, or does she look a little young? Why? Don't even do it, baby. Don't even do it. Go find you something full grown, thick, something with some curves, something.
This is a huge problem here in Medellin, something that I have spoken about quite often, guys. There are a lot of underage women. Do I think that this guy was trying to get an underage woman? I certainly hope not. I don't think you would be walking around in public around the police with a...
Robert, can you put your YouTube? I don't know if you have a YouTube channel. I know you have a podcast. Can you put, they've been asking for your information. The Other Side of the Street. This is his YouTube. I mean, that's his YouTube channel.
With a minor, right? This seems to be a classic example of a guy thinking he's with someone that's over the age of 18 years old because she has a fake ID, when in fact she is a minor, okay? And now he is being arrested and charged with something, man, that no man ever wants to have attached to his name, right? But it's your responsibility to make sure that you don't end up in this situation. And this guy now is learning a very painful lesson.
Okay, let's see what else. Ooh, I'm gonna look at this one.
Guys, don't be wearing meta glasses filming people in places like Medellin, Cartagena, and anywhere else across the world, but especially here in Colombia. And look, I'm gonna call you out for it. I got put onto this account today. I don't know if you guys follow them. Actually, someone that follows me follows them. You're listed right there. But I really don't give a fuck because, dude, if you
wear the meta glasses, you the feds, and can't nobody tell me otherwise. You are the fucking feds. I don't want to be around nobody that be wearing meta glasses.
You don't have the balls to pull out a phone and record someone. Don't be a coward and put on glasses, because you know the reason why you're wearing glasses and not pulling out your phone is because people don't want to be on camera. what you're doing is not cool at all. And if the locals and those women that are out there catch you, bro, good luck. But past that, I started going through these videos here, and this guy, whoever he is, right, has one of my friends on camera that had no idea that he is being filmed. Okay, it's not fucking cool at all. This is the kind of behavior that we don't want here in Medellin.
But yet y'all remember that when that man over on that channel, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. I ain't gonna keep saying his name. Bottom lip is what we gonna call him. Bottom lip. Y'all remember when he said, I am the one that is painting the passport bros in a negative light. I am the one that is giving black men a bad reputation. Do y'all see him coming for these men walking around with these meta glasses? Do y'all see him coming for these men that are in these group chats sharing illegal information? Because that's illegal. In Colombia, you cannot be filming people and sending it like that without their consent. That's illegal in Colombia. Y'all will never see these type of men check those people for making them look bad. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, they doing the same kind of shit. Let's be for real. But yet it's my responsibility to not say nothing. Okay. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yep, if she look under 23, walk away. Exactly. Like, damn. She needs to, like, dang, can she at least be old enough to buy a drink? You gotta go that young? You gotta go that freaking young? Damn, I wanted some meta glasses. Hey, I don't be feeling, now I just deleted that page. I don't be feeling comfortable around people with their meta glasses on. Because here's the thing, I be talking too much shit to be around people with meta glasses. So here, don't be having them on when you talking to me. I'm liable to say something. I'm liable to say something crazy. Okay, y'all hear what I say in public. Imagine what I say in private. Okay, let's see.
Men being profiled, right, and targeted for entry or non-entry here in Medellin. Let's talk about it, guys, because this topic came up yesterday when we started talking about passport bros, and my position is very clear, right? Travelers are black, white. We've seen both get deported, but this topic has been coming up, so I want to share my perspective off it, because when it comes down to are they targeting them, I don't know. We don't have any of the numbers. I don't work there, but I do see a pattern, and I want to talk about it.
We don't got the numbers, and I understand why you're saying that, Robert. I mean, technically, none of us do know. We can only speculate. I'm gonna say use your common sense. I'm gonna say use your common sense. And but some people got upset with me on Instagram when I said this. And they were like, she's discriminating against the black man. And I'm like, no, I just say use your common sense. Now, go look in the line in Cartagena and see who's coming in these huge groups for sex tours. Go look in the line in immigration. Y'all know them days where it's like a 4-hour line in Medellin, Colombia. And go look and listen and see who's coming in groups and talking about all the sex they finna pay for in big groups, okay? Now, your common sense should tell you that people in law enforcement practice what's that thing called? Pattern recognition, right? And this thing called criminal profiling, right? And in order for you to be able to have a criminal profile or a practice pattern recognition, you have to be able to make certain physical observations about people. And one of those is going to be your skin color. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I can't say with certainty that they are practicing racial discrimination, but you got to use your common sense. What does your common sense tell you that they are doing? Okay.
Things is they are profiling people and looking at how you dress, right? Right here, wearing sweatpants, wearing flip-flops and socks is something that you do see more often in the black community. I mean, even right here, we have a second black man wearing the flip-flops and socks. Both are being...
Almost every time I see it in admittance, it's the sweats and the flip-flops and the socks. Almost every single time. It's sometimes the whole group of them with sweats, flip-flops, and socks.
Deported.
Why he got on booty shorts? Okay.
Or not allowed into the country.
You was finna come here and buy some sex in them little tight-ass booty shorts? Hold on, let me blow him up. Not y'all, this man got his whole thighs out and was coming to buy some sex. Okay. Anyway, I just can't.
Country. So how you dress could be one way that they are obviously profiling people. So that is something that you want to pay attention to. The next thing is, this guy here is alone, but one thing that you see often with the black community, more often than the white community, is guys traveling in groups. Okay, when they're looking to bring down the numbers here, a group of 5, right, does a lot more for them than having to go find one person at 5 different times. So the guys that are coming in groups, they seem to be going after, and this happens a lot more often in the black community, although they did just not allow a group of white men that were actually coming here for a bachelor party. But the frequency of people coming in groups tends to be higher in the black community.
It's true.
Again, here with this guy, man, the sweatpants, like the hoodies and stuff, seem to be something that they go after. When I fly in looking like I'm here for a business trip. I sit at the front of the plane, right? And I try to really make it look like I'm someone of status. I would encourage you to do so too, whether you're black or white, because how people dress seems to be a way that they're profiling people. And the way that the black community typically will show up with a sweatpants, the flip-flops and stuff, seems to be something that they're going after. The next thing that I want to talk about too is when we are here, okay, like even someone myself, when I was rolling around and I was partying and stuff, I lay low. I fall back in the clubs. I'll be there drinking. I'm kind of minding my own thing. The black community is really known for really going into the club in groups, being very loud, bringing attention to themselves. And this could be something that the community itself doesn't like, or they are targeting. Okay. But every day here, when I walk around Medellin and I'm in town, there are still black men. There are still groups of black men. I see them all the time. And the frequency of group of black men are way bigger than white men, but they are still here. But yes, when we see what migration is actually posting, right, the amount of black men we see pop up is a high frequency compared to white, but I don't actually have the numbers for you. Are black men being profiled, right, and targeted for entry or non-entry here in Medellin? Let's talk.
Y'all remember I said that the homies hub went in on his show. It was like, how could she know that? In order for acting like it wasn't true, you would have to spend a significant amount of time or be there, like all these types. And it's like, no, it's called taking a sample. Now, I have been in Parquejeras, I'm sure under 5 times. The entire 2 years that I've been there, I avoided at all costs, right? And the only time I went is when somebody else invited me out. If every single time I went there, the majority of the men in the park were black males in groups, then what are the odds that is not the primary demographic visiting the park? Black men in groups. So nobody's gonna gaslight me. Nobody's gonna gaslight me. Are they the only race of people in the park? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm saying there's an overrepresentation of them in the park. That's all. That's all. So guess what? If I notice it, you think immigration doesn't notice it and that they're not racially profiling? You got to use your common sense. Use your common sense. That's it. If you have to ask, here's my rule of thumb. If you have to ask if they're racially profiling, it's probably because there's some things that are going on to make you think that they are. Okay? And let that be your guide. Black people be loud, but I thought Latinos were the same. Latinos be loud as hell. Hell, sometimes they be way louder than us, especially when it comes to playing music. Baby, they be dry over here in Dominican Republic. They be bumping that music.
Talk about it, guys, because
okay, let's see what else Robert had to say. And then I'm going to have to go. I think that's it for now. Oh, this one. Hold on.
A 45-year-old American man was found with a minor in Yedis Park. Okay, he was arrested, and now the news has started to release these stories. And I want to share this with you guys because it's really important for you to know here that if you get arrested here, okay, and there might be something more to the story, just like the guy in Bogota that ended up being found innocent after his name and identity was blasted everywhere across the world, okay, you have to know that the news here, okay, will spin something to make it look bad against you, even if there is more to the story. So let's jump in real quick. Okay, so the first thing here, it says that this guy contacted her through a third party. There's a very high probability that that third party is Tinder, okay? And that 16-year-old girl can't be on Tinder, okay? And they're going to conveniently leave that part out that he would have been on a site where you have to be 18 or older, and this girl presented herself as being 18, okay? Because then on that site, he could have agreed to the 400,000 pesos because girls there that you know they're on there for mutual benefits. They'll get your number on WhatsApp. You trade it. You agree to terms long before you ever hang out. Because if you look at the top here, the teenagers handed over identity documents belonging to people in order to pass as adults. So there's a very high probability this man thought he was with a girl that was at least 18 years old. Because you see here, they were caught walking through Yedis Park.
Robert really be trying to put people up on game. And if you had any type of common sense or concern for yourself, instead of getting mad and mass reporting, you would be trying to listen and take heed. But again, baby, you can't talk to fools.
In Yedis Park, there is cops everywhere, okay? Just for 1 minute, like, be objective. How many guys that are knowingly with minors are going to go walk into a park where cops are everywhere checking people's IDs and you can easily get caught? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up at all, okay? Look, anyone that is knowingly with a minor, anyone that is harming kids in any way is disgusting, should be dealt with 100% oppose it. But there are things going on here that guys can get jammed up very quickly where girls that are 16, 17 years old have fake IDs. They're out and about offering up services. You check, even if you ask for them for an ID, you're going to see that they're 18 or 19 years old, right? When they're really minors, and you're going to get jammed up for it. And when it happens, the news here, when they break the story, they are going to spin it in a way where you do look like the creep, okay? So, guys, if you're into 18, 19-year-old girls, you really shouldn't come here to do it. It's a very dangerous game to be playing. Okay?
The internet, I don't care if it's news in another country. I remember when Austin Holloman, shout out to Austin Holloman, this is not talk shit about him, right? But he's like a great example. I remember one time I was watching him do a live, and like he went back to Dallas, and this chick who he was talking to in Dallas, I guess he was like trying to meet up with her from a dating site or whatnot. Well, she went and looked him up. And what do y'all think she found? All that stuff that was going on. This is around the time all that stuff was going on with him in Brazil, right? And, he left for, he just kind of had a lot of bad stuff on his name in the news. He was getting some bad press, And so that kind of stuff, even if I'm a firm believer in it's certain things that even if your name gets cleared, people will always have that question at the back of their mind, right? Like that's nothing that you can never just all the way truly get off your name, even if you didn't do it. So yeah, that's why you have to be careful and diligent in these situations.
Okay, but if you are here, man, like you have to be very careful because this guy now is in a world of shit, and chances are he thought he was walking through that park with an adult. The 45-year-old American man was found with a minor in Yedis Park.
It's truly unfortunate. So let me go to Chill Capo's channel because he wanted me to review. Was it on Chill Capo? It was something he was saying about which one was it, Capo? Hold on. I know you sent it to me, but I don't want to go on WhatsApp here. I'm gonna go look on here and see real quick. Give me a second, y'all. My WhatsApp is taking forever to load. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. All right, it's this one.
Yo, what up, people? So I'm making this video to address the situation that happened in Bogota with the American male who was caught sexually molesting children in Bogota, Colombia recently. Now, let's state this first and foremost. Anybody who commits sexual crimes against children or any crimes against children deserve to die. They deserve the worst possible death that can be imagined. And I have no, or say that nicely, those people are the scum of the earth and they deserve everything bad that is coming to them. And let's just throw that out there. But I would like to address the narrative that is constantly being said online when it comes in regard to specific races of tourists and people that are entering Colombia. Colombian people in general have been taking a very, very harsh stance towards certain people, mainly African Americans and people of color. And when it comes to the white tourists that are actually coming into the country and committing heinous crimes, things seem to get swept under the rug, and the attention and publicity is somehow a little bit.
I agree with that, because here's the thing: the passport bros movement is relatively new. Okay, in terms of how it blew up. Let's say it started blowing around up around the pandemic. Single white men have been traveling to Colombia for years, and I wonder how many people sold their children. And again, I'm not saying all single white males are predators or like kids, but like what it seems like is a lot of these ones that are just now getting caught, they've probably been doing this for so long, been doing it for years. And now it's like this kind of, the passport bros moving kind of a little bit has thrown a little bit of salt in their game. You know, they catching more scrutiny, they catching stray bullets. But again, I'm not trying to paint all white men as PDF files or all white men that travel solo. Because again, I went over the stats on my channel, and PDF file behavior happens at the same rate in almost every community in the United States. The outlier is actually the Native American community, where they seem to have much higher rates than the general public. But I'm not going to talk about that. It seems like the white PDF files, notice I said the PDF files, not the white men, the white PDF files, seem to go out of their way to hide it. They're more willing to go travel to do it. Y'all understand? What up, Jeremiah? Good to see you. Shout out to Jeremiah.
Less intense, let's just say. So I want this conversation and this debate to happen across any platforms, not just my own, but within your own groups and your own circles. These older white solo travelers are actually the people coming into your country and looking for underage children. Now, every race has committed some sort of crime against everybody. Every type of crime that exists, every race that exists has committed that crime. So I'm not saying that in the history of mankind, no minority man has ever been caught with underage children.
Well, not only that, I mean, we don't even got to talk about the history of mankind. They touching kids in the United States. They're not get it twisted. 1 in 4 Black girls is a big number. 1 in 4 Hispanic girls, and I think that's underreported, but let me be quiet. That's a big number. Okay, so we don't even gotta go back in history, Capo. They over there in the United States doing it as we speak. We have the largest market for human trafficking in the world. But I digress.
Or young girls or boys. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is there is a clear and obvious trend of a certain group of people that is being overlooked, and they are sliding through the cracks of your
Joel, I
process.
want you to
And
look
this
up.
has
I get your point. Now, first of all, let me say this. If you already have a problem going on in your country, and I've said this about the United States in regards to illegal immigration, if your house is already on fire, ain't no need in dousing it in gasoline, right? So if you already have a problem, that don't mean now it's a free for all and keep adding to your problems. That's not the argument I'm making in regards to Colombia. But as much as they want to call us PDF files in the United States, I need you to go look at them stats of how many Colombian girls have been touched. And this is just the girls. Just the girls. Okay.
has been an ongoing pattern. Those of y'all that know, you know that I run Unseen Medellin, and I report about these situations happening all the time. And 98% of the time, when it involves an underage girl or a young boy, it is consistent. It is a known pattern. It is something that we can all find multiple examples of. And yet, I feel like this thing never gets addressed and called for what it is. And just because something is true and a pattern is true doesn't mean that it's a racial thing. It doesn't mean you're being racist for calling out a pattern of behavior. Same way that Black men are often caught being drugged and robbed in Colombia. Yes, they are caught and drugged and robbed because these Black guys are coming to Colombia looking for low-hanging fruit. They're just naturally more attracted to these uglier women, and they're looking for these women
Not
in the
naturally
wrong
more
places,
attracted to
and they
women.
keep getting caught making the same mistake multiple times. Now, is it racist to say that these Black men are coming to Colombia and dealing with these ugly ass women that are drugging and robbing them
Why you have to say it
consistently?
like that?
No, it's not. It's a fact. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. The same way, there's nothing wrong with saying that these older white men that are traveling solo into your country are the same men that are being caught consistently with these underage kids in their rooms, Airbnbs, hotels, etc. It is constantly fitting the same profile of people. So it is not about race if to report a pattern that is clear, obvious, factual, and has the data to support it. Now, we could get into how many of the Colombian people are actually committing these crimes against their own people, but that's a whole nother longer video, and I don't think we need to go there right now at this time. Let's just focus on what we have in front of us. When are we going to start acknowledging this pattern? I don't know, but as long as I own my platform and as long as I have my voice, I'm going to keep addressing these things. Now, it is everybody's job and responsibility to protect children. It is everybody's job to report or act on anything that they see that even hints to sexual abuse towards underage children and minors. It is everybody's job to act on those things. All of us need to band together and make sure that we are reporting these things if we see it or if something looks wrong. Now, for you guys that are traveling to do your thing in Colombia, by all means, do your thing, have your fun. It's legal. But if you know one of your homeboys in your group has a thing for younger girls or has a tendency to kind of look towards and gravitate towards the younger looking girls, the 18, 19-year-old girls that are still developing. And
first of all, he would have to get kicked out the friend group, right? Because nigga, you too weird. Okay. And you can't really come on the trip because every time I see you in the United States, you with a girl that look too young. Like, honestly and truly, the dudes, let me tell y'all who should be the red flag. The dudes that should be the red flag to y'all to let y'all know he just might get us caught up if we go to Colombia. The dudes who are steady sitting up and talking about a woman is their best between 18 and 25. That's who they want to date. And they're like in their 50s. And in their, guess what? Or 40s, you know? Now, if he's saying that and he's like around that age, then you can just completely discount what I'm saying. He just likes girls his age. You know what I'm saying? Discount that, what I'm saying, right? But like, if he like he's Unc, and he's saying that, that's the one most likely to get you caught up. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's the one most likely to get you caught up. Every time you see him in the United States, he was something barely legal. He on his R. Kelly shit, barely legal. That's the one. That's gonna be the one. Capo said, I'm just saying it ain't us. Yeah, I mean, at least, yeah, in Colombia it's not, or just, just traveling around the world to do that. No, that ain't. It's not. It's not. What up, Jamal? Good to see you. Good to see you. Capo said sometimes you don't know until they come overseas. Well, that might be true, because then it's like they're overseas and they're like, they feel like I'm not inhibited by U.S. law enforcement. I can understand that. A lot of times you won't know people until they travel.
They're adults technically on paper, but you know what I mean? It still feels fishy. It's up to you guys to police your homeboys, because the last thing you need is to be part of a friend group that is caught with an underage girl in your Airbnb or your group, and you all go down and labeled as pedophiles because one person in your group has a fetish for younger looking women. That's up to each and every single one of you watching this that plans to travel to Colombia or anywhere else, that you are policing your own friends and holding each other accountable for the actions of the people that are with you. It is everybody's responsibility to protect kids. And I just wanted to put this out there so we can create a debate and a conversation.
No, and I practice my life. Let me tell you, I'll be straight up. When I first came here to Dominican Republic, I was in the zona colonial. And there was this little boy. Now he looked, it was a group of boys trying to holler at me and my friends. And to me, they look young as hell, in my opinion. And I'm like, first of all, I can't even kick it with you just because they was trying to holler. I can't even kick with you just off the string that you look young. Then I'm asking, okay, how old are y'all? One of the boys, he ain't going to show me his social media, but eventually he did. And I look, the boy just turned 18 years old. Absolutely the fuck not. I don't care that you legal. I have students that I used to teach that are your age now. You understand, sir? Absolutely not. I'm not, you ain't finna catch me at 33 years old walking around with nothing 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I don't want none of that, baby. You got to be 25, at least 25. Hey, that's too young, honestly. Really, I prefer, you want to kick it with me, you really need to be like 27 and up. You understand? All of that just cougar activity, I don't got the time for, especially when you that close to underage status. Do you understand? It don't even sit right with my spirit. That's why I travel abroad with myself. I don't babysit grown people. Facts. A lot of people say they got it from the red pill space. The red pill space messed a lot of dudes up. It did. But you know what? That's why that's why you got to know, like women, here's the thing. As much as y'all like to talk shit about us, we been peeped what that was. Red pill was, the men were saying, oh, we want to get a girl that's young so she's moldable. Now, I'm starting to see the fruits of that. Do y'all understand? So at that time that whole red pill movement started, I was working in a strip club. So I was working with these young girls that these older men were coming and finding at the strip club. And I would look and I would tell them girls, you gonna regret that. You gonna regret that. But they would come get them a little 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, take her out the club. And in her mind, it's like, oh, I'm getting stability. And in his mind, oh, I can mold her. I can, turn her into what I want to be. And now these girls are touching 30. And guess what? He stole my youth. She want to leave, can't leave, stuck. She don't look at him through the same eyes that an 18-year-old was looking at him, like some type of savior. Now she's looking at him as the man that preyed upon her. And eventually, 9 times out of 10, that's what it always turns into. Why? Because your mind at 18 And the way you see things at 18 is nowhere near what you're going to see it when you turn 30. You green. I don't care what type, how hard your life was. I don't care if you in the club, making your own money, shaking your behind. You don't understand shit about life yet. That man gonna make you a believer. He gonna make you understand. But by then, you done said that you done had 3 kids for him, and now you don't got shit to show for yourself. And now he's at that age where he getting sick. So now you got to take care of him. You done pretty much gave up all your youth for somebody who had theirs. They had their youth. You ain't get to have yours no more. Red pill heavy on that young girl thing. Yeah, very predatory. Very predatory. And most of those girls grow up, and then the men wonder why. Oh, when she get a certain age, she leave me, and now she won't have. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The red pill movement will shame women for getting divorces from men, while simultaneously set them up to be in a position where it's almost guaranteed you finna get a divorce and and she's gonna leave you, and she's not gonna see you the same when she grows up, when she's not a little girl anymore. You understand? Okay. All right. I hope that didn't go over some of their head. It's like people don't think about stuff like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to AMS channel. Now I want to review this. I want to hold on. Now y'all remember Alpha Male Strategies? I started reviewing this video he did where he had a message to the passport bros. Now, Alpha Male Strategies, I would consider him to be a male chauvinist. You can call him a dating coach, a strategist for men, whatever the case may be. And let me turn on. I think my camera is about to turn off because it's too hot in here. I would just consider the man to be a male chauvinist, honestly and truly. And the advice that he gives, a lot of the time, it's not going to work for y'all. Let me pull him up and show y'all. It's not going to work for y'all the way it worked for AMS, because AMS is like, hold on one moment. Oh, no. Hold on. It's not going to work for y'all the way it works for AMS, because AMS is 6'5" and a personal trainer. So he can go around calling a lot of these women bitches and hoes, and they're going to still be with him. And he can go around trying to get these women in check, and they're going to think that that's sexy. Now, me personally, I'm leaving you. But a lot of these women find that type of behavior attractive. I can't deny it. With that said, you cannot be over here 5'6" with a gut and a bald head walking around calling women bitches and hoes and thinking you're going to get them in check and have a roster. She's going to first look at you and tell you to lower your tone while you're talking to her. You understand? She might beat you up. I'm just being honest. So y'all can't use his strategies. And this is why a lot of y'all get upset when you're not having the same success. And then you realize, well, I just got to go ahead and leave the country because none of this stuff is working. You're right. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you. You're not 6'5", built a personal trainer, and fine. Because AMS is an attractive man. I can't even hold you. He's handsome. Now, I would be scared he going to whoop my ass, so I would never be with a man like that. But understand, there's a lot of women out here that like to play with fire. His advice is not going to work with you. Thank you, James Letterman. Long live MariahSincere. I appreciate that. Let me tell y'all the real advice that these men should have been giving you. If you are out of a woman's league, your only best hope is to be nice to her. And when I say nice, I don't mean give her stuff and buy her and she don't want you and she continues to not show interest. No. Ugly dudes and short dudes used to get played because they used to be funny and know how to dress. That's it. And it's not always guaranteed, but it'll get you through the door. What happened in recent years is they just became bitter. And now you ain't getting nobody. Okay? But that used to be the play. If you was ugly or if you was short, be funny, know how to dress, and have good hygiene. That was going to be your best bet in this life. No. Instead, you had men coming out here coaching y'all to be angry and bitter, and it just turned the women off even more. Or you can ignore her, but even that game, that don't even work. And then guess what? When you start paying attention to her, she realized the only reason why you didn't like her is because you was paying attention to her. When you start paying attention to her, she'll realize the only reason why she liked you is because you weren't paying attention to her. So now when you're paying attention to her, she's gonna realize she don't really like you. Y'all see why playing all them games is foolish? Because once you start playing games, you forever gotta play them games. You can't stop playing them games, or else you lose the game. It's forever. It's forever. So you got to decide if you got the stamina to keep up. I'm a speed up. I agree. Oh, I see you game. Alpha male strategies. That's cap. The women did not. Here's the thing. He wants to say that the women moved the goalposts, so he don't have to admit that all the strategies that he was teaching was just never going to work to begin with for these men. No, women did not pick the goalpost up and move it. I'm a woman, sir. The standard has always been tall and fine, but the women will make exceptions for men with personality, charisma, and swag. I'm just being honest. The goalposts did not move. It's true, Eric. Every man isn't going to be good with women. The best thing a man can do is like who like him. That's going to give you your best chances. Sir, that was always majority, and this is not all. There are women who like short men. I have met women who like men that are their same height. And you know what? Honestly and truly, like for example, I have a friend who likes tall men, and she fell in love with a man who's like her same height, and she's a tall woman too. So he's like, for a woman, she's tall. And she's like, I didn't know. I always said I would be with somebody tall, but like this person's charisma and charm, she's so in love with him, y'all. He just swept her up off her feet. You understand? But like and he wasn't an ugly man either. He's attractive. But like the best thing he could have done was just be a good guy. Y'all understand? Y'all understand how that worked for him? So it's like you can't always, but I'll be honest, with a lot of women, the standard had always been tall. Most women is gonna prefer to have a man that's tall, but that don't necessarily mean that they won't date you if they're not and find good qualities in you. The thing was, if you coming around acting bitter, it's gonna turn women off. I don't even want to be around no bitter tall dude, because I'm like, bro, you too tall to be bitter and acting like a bitch. That to me is even more of a turn off when a tall dude behaves like that. I know that's right. Sir, that's not why women became celibate, sir. Women became celibate because having sex, here's the thing. These type of men will shame women for having sex, right? A lot of men do that. But then when the women say we not having sex, that we having less sex, then it's the problem too. Then it's like, no, the women stopped having sex because it was damaging it. That's it. It wasn't because they wanted the men to say, come back. Here's the thing. Women ultimately know that it's always going to be a woman that's willing to have sex, you know, with especially if he's an attractive man or got any type of anything going on. We know y'all can either go pay for it, it's always a woman willing to have sex with you. That's not why women stop having sex. Women stop having sex because it's causing too much emotional damage to them. That's why they stop having all that sex. So it's not oh, notice that we're gone. No. My damn. No, man, I be over here trying to be nice. I be over here trying to, like, you know, put it to y'all. I be trying to give it to y'all soft. These men don't be playing with y'all. They be going in. Okay. Okay. Mm-mm. Oh, y'all couldn't even see it. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I'm not sharing the video. Y'all just was gonna let me go on and not say nothing.
Grown ass men, you stupid as hell. My audience can't afford to be fucking passport bros. Most of them barely can afford to be goddamn Patreon members.
Not Patreon members.
Now let some goddamn passport bros. So stop all this goddamn bullshit that y'all guys think that every time somebody make a video about some passport bros, they want your ass, they need your money, and he think the dating market is over and we go. Who gives a fuck? Take your ass on, goddamn it. One monkey don't stop no goddamn show. You ain't our audience no goddamn way. Big grown ass walking around here with gray beard. Somebody thinking you somebody dating coach audience. You ain't no goddamn body audience. Listen, do I probably got some older guys? Yes, but they probably passively watch, right? Just curious to what I'm gonna say. Like I sit around and I watch videos. I don't have no take your ass on. You ain't my audience, no way. What you are my competition in the dating market. You do me a benefit by traveling because you allow me to get more compliance, less competition, more compliance.
AMS. Now, you know these men ain't your competition today. The type of woman that dates AMS is not dating these men that are traveling abroad. They are not. She not even looking his way. What are you talking about?
That's the way that works. So I don't know why this thing, like no dating coach can say anything about a passport, bro, because if you do, he jealous because he ain't gonna get our money no more. You ain't my money no goddamn way. God damn it.
Right.
Next, most guys don't have the job flexibility to be a passport bro. Guys, that was the main point of that video, the reaction video to MTR. That was the main point of it. Most of you guys never will be a fucking passport bro because you don't have the job flexibility or you don't make enough money to be a passport bro. You traveling 2 weeks out the year don't make you no passport bro. It makes you a nigga on vacation. That's what you are. That's what you are. Take that goddamn passport, bro, shirt off, and go get you a shirt that say nigga on vacation, because that's what you are.
NOVs.
You travel 2 weeks out the goddamn year, and you think you some goddamn passport, bro. You ain't no goddamn passport, bro. You are a nigga on vacation. That's what you are.
NOVs.
That's what you are. And it's
we was trying to figure out what's gonna be the movement to replace the passport bros. That's right there. NOVs. Niggas on vacation. Sound more fun than the passport bros. I ain't even gonna hold you. Niggas on vacation. I like that.
It's fine. It's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with being a nigga on vacation.
Okay.
Listen, guys, we gotta just be what we are. We gotta stop being delusional. It's 52 weeks in a year. You traveling 2 weeks out of the country a year, and the other 50 weeks a year, you here. You ain't no goddamn passport, bro.
Okay.
You are a nigga on vacation. That's what you are.
Okay.
If you ain't traveling at least 6 weeks out of the goddamn year, out of the country, stop calling yourself a goddamn passport, bro. Because you ain't. The whole
to me, 6 weeks ain't that long.
Video was to just tell you guys
we're gonna meet up one day.
is doing, most of you guys won't be able to do.
Yeah, I'm with it. Sound good to me.
Period. He is a content creator that makes his money offline. You are a forklift driver.
Not the forklift. Y'all shout out to the forklift drivers.
You are a fucking forklift driver.
That keep
you move your ass to Thailand or Taiwan, because y'all made all of it. He came in there. It's Taiwan. Shut your ass up. If you move your ass to Thailand and became a forklift operator down there, they're going to pay your ass 18 cents a goddamn hour.
Not 18 cents.
You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44.
Going in,
since the beginning of the internet, there's never been something.
He be going in, but they be tuning in.
What?
I'm not mad at it.
MTR is doing is smart. It's the same.
You talk to y'all, he be talking to these men the way he be talking to these women.
Reason I got the fuck out of New York. Why the hell am I gonna be up there paying all those high ass state taxes and all these high ass, just food and groceries for the same shit in a cheaper state? That's why the fuck I got out of fucking New York.
Okay.
The state tax 13% up there is 5% here. Why the hell would I want to be up there? So me chastising him for that would be like me. I did the same goddamn thing. I got the hell out of expensive ass New York. If I wasn't making my money offline, I would have stayed my ass in New York, because a personal trainer can't make what they make up there down here.
Okay.
Nowhere near. So at that point, it does me no good to move. If you make your money offline, then yes, it's smart to move so your money can go farther. I don't blame MTR. Now, you think you're going to start and become a content creator, but you suck. You ain't MTR. You suck. You've been on YouTube for 8 years and you got 1,200 subscribers. It's over for you. You suck. You always have sucked, and you still suck. And when you go to Thailand and start making content, you still gonna suck because you suck. So for all you guys who think you're gonna become these passport bro channels, I just want you to know, if you suck here, you're gonna suck there, because you suck. So if you don't find a way to make some money offline, if you got to go down there and be a plumber or an electrician or a farmer, anything, the money you make down there is going to have you as broke there as you are here, which means you will have no leverage there, which means that the women are not going to treat you better because you don't have that leverage. Down there, you're going to be just another broke nigga with an accent. That's what you're going to be. You need to know that. I need you to know that. Oh, yeah, and I also wanted to shout out O'Shea and MTR for both giving me credit and them both saying in their response videos that they don't think what I was saying was to discourage guys because I want them to spend money with me and all this. They both said that. They said AMS just speaks what's on his mind. So I appreciate them, because that's a
You know what, Chill Capo? I'm nominate you, baby. Chill Capo said he wants to be the CFO of the NOVs, the niggas on vacation. What better person? I couldn't have thought of anybody better myself. You damn skippy. Yeah, let's do that. I couldn't have thought of anybody better. Put a design on anything. His mama a forklift driver.
That speaks to a credibility about me, that they trust that I don't just say something because I'm trying to get y'all money. You ain't my goddamn target audience. No way.
Okay.
I ain't even got to look at my analytics because I already know as a dating coach, it's always going to be 16 to 24. I don't even got to look at it. Common sense tell you that.
So you should probably look at your
young man with 3 kids with 2 divorces looking at a goddamn dating coach for, other than just, curious.
He might be bad with women. Sir, it's a lot of dudes that's like got out of the dating market back into the dating market. And yesterday's price is not today's price. It's way different. That's why, look, I tell y'all all the time, I don't be dating. And when I do date, when I do get into a dating market, I get me a man to sit down somewhere. I don't be out here trying to look around too long. I get me somebody and I sit the hell down. And as long as they don't act up, that's where the hell I'ma stay. That's me. I don't be trying to go on all these, I got a date Friday night. I can't deal with all that negative energy. Do you hear me? Like, it's crazy out here. Look, I got this spoon, y'all, because I'm over here taking the acrylic, scraping the acrylics out my nail. Okay, now I wanted to head over. I'm done with that. I want to head over to Travel Time with Paul's channel because I'm in Dominican Republic right now. And he had an interesting story to talk about with Dominican women and dating. Now, this is not me trying to paint Dominican women in a bad light because I don't date them. I don't know what y'all be going through. And honestly and truly, I could show Aaron, the architect. You know what? Before I show that, I want to go to Instagram and go to Aaron, the architect's channel, because he has seemed to have very positive experiences with Dominican women that actually like him and want him for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what it seemed like, shout out to Aaron, we follow each other, but from what it seemed like, Aaron be the one that be breaking the hearts. Okay? But he has nothing but positive things to say about Dominican women, and he actually has positive things to say about American women too. So I like men with this type of perspective. What it seemed like with Aaron is Aaron can't stop cheating, but I respect a man who is very realistic about where they fall short. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not blaming the women. He already know. He said, hey, look, he liked the hoes too much. I understand. Okay. So let me find, you know what? I'm going to play this video by Travel Time with Paul while I find what Aaron, the architect, say. Because again, I'm not really trying to hate on the Dominican women. They seem cool to me. The ones that's American, they seem like they really be loving their man. So I don't know. But I know I have a predominantly male audience, so I got to cater to y'all. So this video is by Travel Time with Paul. It's entitled Dominican Women Only Want Your Money. Let me share my screen. And some of y'all got to say y'all don't like Travel Time with Paul. He funny as hell to me. I've been watching him for a couple years now. He is funny. So I like him. Now, I know him and Austin are beefed out. I don't want no parts in that. You know, I watch both of them.
And another thing, the reason I made this video too, because I don't met more Dominican women on these dating sites that don't send, whenever I got their WhatsApp, the first thing they do, the second thing they do, the first thing they do is hola. Then the second or third thing they do, you wouldn't believe it. They send me a picture of an empty refrigerator. I'm like, why you sending me this?
Empty refrigerator back. Just send her a picture of yours back down. You ain't got no food. I ain't got no food either.
Then they send me another picture that the neighborhood had a blackout. They need some money to get their lights turned on. If the neighborhood had a blackout, what sense would it make for me to send you some money to get your lights turned off when the whole neighborhood lights off? You think I'm dumb? How many dumb suckers y'all be from Americans that think they don't want of them?
La mujer dominicana se enamora con compresión y ternura y con mucho cuarto.
A lot in the Dominican Republic is the baby skin, where they'll get another man to knock them up, and they'll say it's your baby. They'll say, "Oh, you knocked me up, so now you got to pay for my lifestyle. You got to pay for everything. You got to support the child." Right? They'll say it was you, when in reality it was another man, and you would never know. Right? It happened to a lot of guys where they'll get a phone call from the chick, and the chick will be like, "Hey, papi, I'm just letting you know I'm pregnant. It's your child. You got to support." Right? And if you say no, now you look like the bad guy. If you say yeah, now you're the fool. You're falling for it, and by the time you realize, it might be too late.
The future of human longevity starts here. Introducing the Hume Band 2.0.
Let's see what we're talking about.
Traveling abroad, getting with, I guess you could say, women of the night, they're selling peace sleeve, or if we talking about Thailand, bar girls. And they taking these women serious. I seen one video on Instagram where this man got with a well-known bar girl. She got like, what, 400,000 followers on Instagram. And word on the street is Chris Brown, you know, slid into her DM. This dude don't tell her how to day trade. I mean, basically, he teaching her how to be self-sufficient, where eventually she won't even need him in the future.
I mean, it sounds like he's secure to me. Sound like, you know, he like, hey, I just want you to be good, baby. You ain't got to be with me. Here's my thing, y'all. I just kind of feel like this. Let's keep it all the way above. I hope y'all can see me well. Let's keep it all the way above. It's a lot of men out here that's getting married to prostitutes or former prostitutes. Hell, if you come and go to certain countries, a lot of these prostitutes got a local husband. You know what I'm saying? Or a local boyfriend. And I just kind of feel like, baby, you like who you like. You love who you love. Okay? And I know men are going to think about it as like, okay, well, she slept with all these men, or everybody done had her, done tried her. Hey, that's that man business. If he still want to be with her, that's that man business. Honestly and truly. My only thing being, that's what I don't like. I don't like when y'all be doing that. When y'all be calling, like I saw one of those Passport Bros group chats where they was talking so bad about Black American women and sharing pictures of them and the way they was dressed and some things they were doing. I saw one chat where it was some Black American women on vacation dancing on stage naked, coochie out, everything, right? And they was talking so bad. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all were over here like sleeping with prostitutes, and like some of the men had wife prostitutes, had them living with them. And it's like, bro, if y'all gonna talk about the Black American women, y'all gotta talk about the women that y'all are with. You know, it can't just be, don't be hypocritical with it, is what I'm saying. So it's like, don't be sitting up scrutinizing Black American women and calling us hoes and all that. Then you overseas marrying former prostitutes. That's not how that go. Just quit talking shit. Just quit talking shit is what I'm trying to say.
To make her own money. Now, it's one thing if you're in Thailand and you go get a normal Thai chick, and you know for sure that she's going to be your life partner, and you trying to have a third stream of income, so you teach her how to day trade. But these suckers going all the way to Thailand teaching freelancers how to day trade and proposing to them.
Okay.
Buying them fake Tico biggies, buying them motorbikes. Then they logic is, when NBA players get with IG models and strippers in the States, don't nobody complain. I don't know where you been. You must been underneath the rock somewhere in Colorado, because we always throwing them guys under the bus when they get with a Brittany Renner or somebody like that, and they get a prick asking for a certain amount of money per month. We clown them too, just like we gonna clown your ass. Then it's like, guys forget their common sense once they leave American soil. When they over here, they tell you everything to avoid when it comes to, trying to date an American woman. But they don't take the same common sense abroad. Let me give you an example. Okay, you went and talked to a woman over here in the States because she got kids. Let's say you get her number right, then she hit you up. Hey, can you send me a few bucks so I can get my kids something to eat? No, you better call their daddy or something so he could take them out to eat. But then you go all the way to another country, a foreign country, and take care of a woman and her whole family. not just the children. You take care of the nieces, the grandmoms, the mama son, the uncle, the pops, the grandpas. You take care of everybody. Then you get caught lacking, and somebody call you out.
I'm not telling y'all this because disclaimer here. I'm a single mother, and I've never had an issue with the type of men that here's why I date my type. I date the type of men I like. The type of men that I like don't care about them kids. They don't care about no woman having no kids. As long as you just don't got, like, it's not out of control and you got all them baby daddies. Because y'all got to understand, I'm getting to that age where the type of men that I like, 9 times out of 10, I mean, they be fine. By this age, they be having a kid somewhere too, you know? Maybe when we were younger, it was a situation. When I was younger, I was more likely to be in a situation where I had a kid and the men that I dated did not. But now I'm at that age where everybody's having a kid. Y'all understand? So it's never affected me. All that whole don't date women with kids, because the type of men that I like date women with kids. They not studying stuff like that. You understand? And you just have to know to know. You just got to be around it to see, you know. With that said, I always say that rhetoric, you know, y'all can't claim to care about young Black men, but then you're spreading the narrative to where a lot of these young Black men are not going to have any male guidance because y'all are shaming certain men into not dating women with kids, even though because of your bad experience or because the bad chick that you like didn't give you a chance. And then too, on that same note, a lot of these men will go to another country and play stepdaddy to a man of another culture. And to me, that is insane, but hey, it is what it is.
On it, your logic is, well, it's cheaper overseas. I even saw another video where you had this passport, bro, reacting to Daphne Joy during this interview with DJ Academics. And he paused the video and he said, I've never had an American woman speak to me like that. She's so feminine, soft-spoken. Maybe because the American women you was meeting realized you was more effeminate than they were. So they felt like it was their job to be the masculine one in the relationship. Have you ever thought about that? And another thing, there's another video. I think the Thai woman named Perform with the short hair. That's what I was talking about earlier. The guy taught how to date trade. I seen a video of this woman floating around in different WhatsApp groups, getting that pound town, getting that work, getting dick down, in other words, slinging that peace leave. But then you got.
There go, y'all. Okay, now people mad at Robert for exposing them WhatsApp groups. Here go Travel Time with Paul talking about them WhatsApp groups where y'all are recording these women and sharing them video. That's what I'm telling you, baby. Y'all could not, absolutely not. We wanted somebody to give you some coochie, but talk too damn much. Absolutely not.
These soft, gullible, green ass dudes in her comment section and in the old boy comment section she's dating right now. She's soft, feminine. She just brought him out a glass of Kool-Aid. If that was an American woman, you would have asked her to do that. She would have been like, oh, no, nigga, how about you do it for me? And why you ready to cook me up a...
Y'all be dating women that don't like y'all. Either that, or I'm just tell you right now, it's whack. And y'all know what I mean by it. Cause baby, ain't no way I'm gonna be messing with any type of man that don't inspire me to go bring him something to drink. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Never.
Pay cast iron skillet of pork chops with some gravies and roll me up a blunt while you with it. Just over exaggerating. I don't know where y'all be me y'all American women from, but I digress because I was off topic. That was just a mini monologue. Now, let's get into the topic.
I be wondering where y'all meet them from too, because I'm from the South. We cook. I'm from the South. We cook. Now, I don't be understanding where y'all meet all these women that don't cook. Or she probably don't cook for you. She cook. Because, baby, I don't understand that. That's why y'all got to stop messing with women that don't want y'all. Okay? Because I bet you Tyrone, the personal trainer, can get a meal.
The video. The topic of this video is Dominican women only want you for your money. Now, for you low single-digit IQ individuals, I'm not talking about all Dominican women. because I have not met all Dominican women. And I'm not talking about Dominican women stateside. I'm talking about the Dominican women back in the DR. Mainly the ones that mess with foreigners. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm not even talking about all them, but for the most part, most Dominican women, us foreigners, is going to encounter in the DR. It's going to be, the relationship is going to be transactional, most likely. Now, let me explain. When I was in the DR for a couple of weeks or whatnot, I went to this club. I think it was called a White Club or a VIP lounge. Well, it's one of them. And I was with I'm 5'11". 5'11", 200 plus pounds. Y'all.
And that's where I was supposed to go for my birthday. And I felt like I was going to get scammed, so I left right on out of there. I sure did. That high-ass club.
I'm with two dudes look like NBA players from the 90s. One of them looked like Scottie Pippen back in his prime, and the other one looked like Lamar Odom before he started hitting that glass pipe. And they both had on a bunch of jewelry in the DR. Now, this ain't no, diss to them. Both of them were 6'8", exactly 6'8". I'm not even over exaggerating. Hell, I got the video right here to prove it. But everywhere we went, of course, because of their height or whatever, and they had on the jewelry, they was getting a lot of women attention. I was too, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say it was like theirs. Now, we went to this club called the VIP Lounge in Santo Domingo. And I thought I got lucky. I sat down by this beautiful Dominican woman. She was the same complexion of some buttermilk pancakes right before you put it in the skillet and cook it up with some butter. Okay. Beautiful complexion, long wavy hair in the middle of her back, and was dressed conservative. She was not dressed like a hooker or a woman that was coming there, to sell peace leave. It was just something about her. Where I found out what it was. What was it? Now, she couldn't speak English, so of course I had to take out my phone and get on the translation app in order to communicate with her. So as I'm sitting by her, she was with a friend. She had a Dominican friend with her that had an even better shape. And her Dominican friend looked every bit of a young Felicia Rashad from the Cosby Show. Looked just like her, but had a bigger butt. And both of them were dressed conservative. They wasn't showing a lot of flash. They booty cheeks and all that shit. They wasn't dressed like hookers to make it short.
This almost feels illegal to know if you're a side sleeper. What I've discovered could save you from a massive mistake that's crushing.
So I'm talking to her on my phone, communicating, translating. And she didn't have any children, age 23. Was a lawyer, a Dominican lawyer. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself like, damn, I don't got lucky. Out of all the places I come to a nightclub and I meet a Dominican lawyer, when 8 times out of 10, most of the women that was at that club we was at was probably working girls. So I'm just knowing I got lucky. I'm happy. And the boy that was with me, the guy that was with me that looked like Lamar Odom, he spoke a little Spanish. So I got tired of using my phone to translate. So they started talking. He was looking out for you, boy. But picture, the whole time, she was eyeing him. And I caught on to it later. She was peeping him out. She noticed all the other Dominican women was approaching him, and Colombian women was approaching him or whatnot. I never got up because I had my camera out, getting footage in the club, and I was sitting by her the whole time, trying to mac on her like it's 1996. Okay. So eventually,
how you trying to mac?
When the Lamar Odom looking friend came back over there where I was sitting, she started looking at him kind of weird, like she had that jealousy type look. She was mad because she was feeling him. She wanted to talk to him, but she felt like he was woman. He was talking to too many women that night, and she wanted him. So I believe he eventually peeped it. So there was this Afro-Colombian chick from Cali, Colombia. She came into our section with a BBL, but it was a nice looking BBL. But you could tell it was a BBL though, and she was still fine. She really didn't even need a BBL. All she really needed to do was get her legs ass up in the gym and get on those squats.
I already know how this is gonna go, because let me tell you, here to Dominican. Well, I guess before I left Colombia, my friends was like, you like in the gym and stuff, they was like, yo, Spanish sound like way more Colombian now than when you first came. But it wasn't something I tried to do. It was just like, okay, y'all know I learned Spanish in Texas, but when I came to Colombia, it's like a lot of gaps were filled in for me. And then I speak Spanish the same way I speak English, which is like very slow with like a kind of draw to it. And I guess that is a little bit more in alignment with the Paisa accent, right? Anyway, I mean, that kind of Spanish is slow compared to like Dominican Spanish, right? Anyway, when I talk to the women here in Dominican Republic, they be like, this bitch. Like, they be rude to me sometimes. And I think it's because they think I'm flirting. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm just being fucking nice. Like, I think they think I'm too, like, you know, bubbly or but I'm like, okay, I'm from the South. I've been in Colombia a couple years. Like, we're just, you know, nice girl. Like, I'm not flirting, you know, like, calm down, bitch. But, you know, they'll even like, I remember I was at the food truck and I was ordering something and I was like, me regalas un burrito, porfa. And the girl was like, here nothing is gifted. It's everything is sold here. Like, she was trying to make it a point, like, we was in Dominican Republic, bitch. And it's like, girl, obviously, I know that you're not gonna give me, like, I'm not asking you to literally give me the food. I'm ordering the food, ho. Like, what? That'd be so rude. A thought just occurred to me. There's kind of a reverse passport cis movement in the States. The Latinas in the States already got the black men they want compared to passport, bro. Oh, you know what? A lot of the Latinas in the States, like, for example, you ever notice how, like, Dominican women prefer to date black men? A lot of them New York Dominican women, they like black women. They like to date black men. You know, because they were like, oh, our men are cheaters and all that. That's what they say. You know, I'm not saying that. That's what they say.
The baddest chick up in that club that night, but she just had to go get a BBL built like a beautiful corn dog right before you put it in the microwave.
Okay.
But I digress. So Lamar Odom looked at me and said, I want you to talk to this Colombian girl. Okay. Now I'm like, oh, I see what this is. He realized that the Dominican lawyer chick want him, so he don't want me to feel left out. So he's trying to put me up on this Colombian girl. Him not knowing, yeah, she cute, but I don't want her because she most likely a working girl. So I danced with the Colombian chick, put my arm around her Coke bottle, waistline. That's why I said she just needed to do some squats and she would have been all right. And we was dancing. I'm like, okay, feeling this Colombian chick. So I'm like, hey, you want to get out of here and go somewhere? The Colombian woman whispered in my ear, I'm working, girl, Poppy.
Okay.
If you don't understand the rules of power, you will certainly lose to someone who does.
I said, yeah, you know what? She fucking up my game. Let me get her away from me for this Dominican girl thing. I'm just like the Lamar Odom dude. That's how delusional I was. Thinking because I'm dancing with this Colombian girl, it was going to turn the Dominican chick off and not want to talk to me anymore. Well, her mind was already even made up before the Colombian girl came into our section. She wanted Lamar Odom look-alike. So I ran the Colombian chick off and she realized Lamar Odom and Scottie Pippen look-alike didn't want her. So she went to somebody else's section and ended up going home with somebody else, I guess. So the whole time, I forgot to tell y'all, we had 2 more Colombian women with us that we brought from another club. This them right here in this video. Now, one of them was from Medellin, and I forgot where the other one was from. But the Lamar Odom lookalike, he took it upon himself and brought these 2 Colombian chicks from the club that we was at to the VIP lounge. Now, I think them 2 Colombian girls that was with us, they was in our section enjoying all the free drinks or whatnot. They was under the impression that Lamar Odom lookalike was gonna take them home. But after, the Dominican lawyer chick started, sending a little choosing signal to him or whatever, he wouldn't even stun them 2 Colombian chicks that was with us no more. So I think the one light-skinned Colombian chick from Medellin, she was feeling some type of way. She looking like, wait a minute. So y'all brought us to this club and y'all choosing up on other women when we could have stayed at the club that we was at and found some more suckers and tricks to go home with. Y'all wasting our time. But at least we get to get free drinks is how the Colombian women acting. But if you look at the one that was sitting beside me, she did not look happy at all because she was feeling some type of way because she like, wait a minute, y'all brought us here, but y'all talking to other women. It's like y'all gonna eventually take other women to the house and not us. So when the Lamar Odom dude sat down, he started conversing with the Dominican lawyer in Spanish. And they was going back and forth. She arguing with this dude like she already knew him, like that was her boyfriend. Right. Why you talking to other women? You a dog, they having this discussion.
I hated when y'all.
So I'm looking, I'm feeling some type of.
You a prostitute arguing with a John girl. I hate it when prostitutes get to acting crazy. Because, girl, why are you in your feelings? This is the job. Okay? This is your job. Leave the emotions at the door, sis. Get your head in the game.
Well, a little bit. I wasn't jealous, but I'm like, damn, man. Damn. So I get a career girl at a club, but she end up choosing this tall, lanky Lamar Odom, Milk Dug, Tommy from Mount Mont. You ain't got no job looking ass dude over me, which I understand, because he had a whole lot of advantages over me. He was 52 years old. He looked like he had more money than me, which he probably most likely do have. And these foreign women, they very intelligent. This woman was able to look at all three guys. They didn't even want the Dominican lawyer and her friend. They didn't even want Scottie Pippen lookalike. And he was younger. He was around my age. They wanted the Lamar Odom. They looking like, well, he an old head, so he probably got an old bank account. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't thinking about none of that at the time. I'm thinking about, Negro, we supposed to be cool. And you gonna come and you gonna swipe this Dominican lawyer chick from underneath my arms? Motherfucker. Now I'm stuck with these damn hookers that I don't want nothing to do with. So he got up and walked off. And the Dominican chick gave me her phone because we the Dominican lawyer. She asked me about the two Colombian women that was with us. She was like, why they keep looking at me? They looking like they ready to fight or something.
I'm telling y'all.
I didn't even feel like explaining nothing to her.
I be feeling the tension. And I be wanting so bad to be telling him, like, I am not Colombian. I just sound this way because I lived in Medellin for 2 years. That's it. Okay. But yeah, they definitely be looking like they want smoke, which I wouldn't advise it, sis. I wouldn't advise it.
I ain't want to even talk to her at this point, but I ain't want to act like a dude with female tendency. So like a man, I just kind of gave her a short story short on what was going on or whatnot. But I ain't tell her what they were or whatnot. So he came back. Now remember, we bought our own section. And the Dominican lawyer and her friend, and they had a male Dominican dude that was with them. He went home early. They had their own section next to us. They was there before us. So I think them sections was a couple of $100 a piece in the DR. So what ended up happening was the club was getting ready to close. And I asked the Colombian chick, the one from Medellin, what y'all plan on doing? Because I realized that the Lamar Odom dude that brought them to the club we was at, he wasn't gonna even go home with them. He was about to go home with that Dominican lawyer chick. So I asked the Colombian girl what they plan on doing. They told me they was working girls. I said, duh, I know that. But who y'all plan on going home with? Cause it don't look like now one of these fellas gonna take y'all home. Cause the Scottie Pippen lookalike said y'all wasn't his type. He like a Latin BBW, and y'all more on the petite side. And I ain't taking y'all home because one of the guys said y'all $200 an hour. So y'all definitely can't go home with me. But I ain't tell them that. So they thought they was still gonna go home with Lamar Odom. The one from Medellin said we go home with him. I didn't even say nothing. I just said, all right, I don't know how this is gonna work right here. Now the Scottie Pippen lookalike had an SUV, a 3-row SUV with it's a 3-row seat SUV or whatnot. As we went to leave, before we left, they brought us our receipts to pay for the sections or whatever at the end of the night. The Dominican lawyer chick looked at her receipt for a second, just was looking at it. And I'm like, why she just staring at it? I'm pretty sure this ain't her first rodeo coming to this club. She about already know how much this shit gonna cost. Picture the whole time, she had in her mind she was gonna get a receipt to the Lamar Odom lookalike to pay for her section, which was a few $100s. So she got a receipt and she passed it over to him. And I'm standing over there like this, like, what the hell? I know he ain't got to pay for that. Guys, and this ain't no diss to him, that's the homie. But he paid for it.
Where he at?
That's when I started feeling better about myself. I'm like, well, you know what? She chose the right one. Man, hey, she's smart. She probably knew I wasn't finna pay for that damn section. First of all, I don't even drink. So I had to turn the light on because I didn't know if it was a little dark in here. So I don't know how this video gonna come out. So she probably knew that I wasn't gonna pay for the section. So she chose him. So he paid for the section or whatnot. And the Dominican lawyer and her friend, they was getting ready to ride with us. But the two Colombian chicks, they was coming behind us too. Even though it was enough room for them to get in the SUV, I'm still trying to figure out who they plan on going home with. Well, when we got to the SUV, the Dominican lawyer chick, she kind of acted timid at first inside the club, like she was intimidated by the two Colombian chicks. But it turns out that was just a front. and she was already turned up, drunk. So when we got outside by the SUV, she started talking fast in Spanish. The Dominican lawyer did. Moving her hands. Well, I didn't know what she was talking about.
Okay.
But one of the Colombian chicks,
like strip club etiquette, right? Girl, first of all, let's be very clear. The Colombian chicks was there first, girl. So if anybody was stepping on toes, the Dominican chick was the one stepping on toes. So how she mad at them going off? When really she the one that prevented, she stopped their bag, so to speak. Come on, sis.
Me on the shoulders and asked me, what's wrong with her? She mad at us. She don't want us to go with y'all. So she was fussing about the Colombian chick. She didn't want them to get into the SUV with us. So one of the Colombian chicks went to the other side of the vehicle to go talk to her to see what was going on. And the Dominican chick just started cussing her out. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, what happened to that good girl, so-called Dominican lawyer that I met up beside the club? This girl got multiple personalities. That real true ghetto Dominican side came up out of her once we got outside. So she started going up like she was in a Dominican courtroom.
I don't even believe she's a lawyer.
That's when the Lamar.
A 23-year-old lawyer? Where does that make sense? 23 and a lawyer? Be so for real.
I owed him, dude. He didn't want no problems. So he told the two Colombian chicks, come here. He was finna pay them to just leave. Went out of what, and I started messing with him. I said, but shit, hey, since you paying them, I guess I'll take them home since you already paid them. Well, he said, I ain't finna pay for you to sleep with them. You pay on your...
Paul, you was not playing with him. You meant that. You was just trying to see if he was going to agree to it. But anyway.
Go on. So I said, well, never mind. They on their own shit. I don't know what you're going to do with them. Because he was about to get them a couple of hundreds. Because he didn't want to feel like they waste their time or whatnot. Yeah. They end up getting the SUV anyway. The Scottish Pimp lookalike decided he was going to go ahead on and drop them back off. I guess at the other club we was at first, which I think it was closed, or at the hotel they were staying at. As we was in the vehicle, we weren't even in the damn SUV. 2 minutes. The Dominican lawyer just going off, throwing her hands. And then one of the Colombian chicks just started going back out with her, with a smirk on her face and called her a punta, bitch in Spanish. And they just going off. Then that's when the Dominican lawyer just started trying to swing back there and hit one of the Colombian chicks. I said, damn, you can't make this shit up. I got to come to the DR and see a fight between Dominican women and Colombian women over the Lamar Odom lookalike. Boy, ain't nobody gonna believe this story, but it did happen though. So they going back and forth, they arguing the whole time. Now remember, it's 2 versus 2. The Dominican lawyer and a Felicia Rashad lookalike her friend. And then you got the 2 Colombian chicks. They just going back and forth and shit. But the Dominican chicks was being the aggressor. So the Colombian chicks were just like antagonizing them at this point, smirking at them, getting up under their skin, letting the Dominican women know, hey, you ain't getting up under my skin, you ain't hurt me by, I guess the Dominican woman was calling her all kind of derogatory names in Spanish and was cussing her out in Spanish. But the Colombian chicks was back.
I'm trying to tell y'all that I don't think Dominican women like Colombian women. I'm telling y'all. Just some of the stuff, I guess you would say the Colombian words that I be using here, it be getting me the most ugly, stares, or women be like, who is this bitch? And I'm not Colombian.
They're looking like they went phased. But the light-skinned Colombian chick from Medellin, she started going out. She started speaking Spanish fast too. And all you just heard was a war of Dominicans and Colombian women speaking Spanish, just going back and forth. Now, the moral of the story is, and I'm not done. I got a quick short story after this. Stop letting these guys lie to y'all. You just gonna meet better quality women once you go overseas. Trust me. Like the Dominican dude said in the beginning of the video, if you can meet an attractive Black American woman that's got her own job or that's making as much money as you or close to it, I ain't gonna say more money than you, because that's a video for another story. A lot of times they ain't gonna even ask you for nothing. They'll help you. I don't have beautiful Black women, not recently.
That's bro, when y'all be acting like Black women do not be down for their man, I really be trying to understand that. Cause we just come from a culture where that was embedded in us. It's just now becoming new where Black women are don't deal with struggle love or don't date a man if he ain't got no money. I was going back and watching them old Ja Rule music videos. Y'all know when when the Down for You, when Down Ass Chick, them type of songs. And I'm like, bro, this is what This is literally what was put into our head. That you're supposed to ride or die for a man. Especially if you get with a millennial black woman, they will stay with you through like thick and thin. It's just sometimes some of y'all just be pushing y'all luck a little too far. You be doing too much, okay?
But in the past, I don't had beautiful black women, but before the dating apps and before social media took our souls away, where we was forced to communicate in person and talk amongst one another in person, giving eye-to-eye contact. I don't have black women that didn't ask me for a dime, that when I had a good job working at an air conditioning plant or whatever, making good money, a unionized job, I'm just knowing this sister was gonna leave me, bro. She ain't have no kids. I mean, she was beautiful. Get ready to go to college. She was about to, it was about to be her first year in college or whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, she gonna leave me. Watch. She probably only got with me because I had this good paying job.
No, I was the type too. When I used to be like, when I tell you, I mean, like, I was solid. The men that I used to be in a relationship with, it was never whenever they didn't have no money, it was never no like, you know, it was like relationships work like this, and you got to understand this. If you be with somebody long enough, they're gonna have financial ups and they're gonna have like financial downs. So I don't stay with a dude when they lost their job. I stayed with a dude when they crashed their car, ain't had no car for a while. I was the one having to drive them to work, like. And you just know, like, that's just normal stuff that goes along with being in a relationship with somebody that you cared about. And honestly, especially that relationship, I probably would have left that relationship if that person would have, you know, if that person, what it was is he was on his Donnell Jones. He just want to see where he want to be and come back. And I just couldn't take you back, you know. But I know a lot of black women that will hold it down when a man is going through financially. It really just come down to, do she like you? Do she want you?
Man, I ended up losing all my furniture and every damn thing. I was sleeping on a comforter on the carpet floor in my one bedroom apartment with the fireplace running. Sometimes when I couldn't pay my utility bill, it was like back in the day, years ago. She came over there, didn't even have to do it because she was staying with her parents and was sleeping on that comforter with me. Boy, we had some of the best memories together. I had a wood burning fireplace. I throw some logs in that joint, and we'd sit there and just tell stories from the past, our childhood past and shit, holding hands, you know, doing good shit that people don't really do anymore in this day of time.
Man,
but we had more in common than you have, you know, with a lot of foreign women. Not saying you can't meet no good damn foreign women, but now that you got an influx of guys traveling, man, the chance of these new breed of guys traveling, meeting a good foreign wife material woman, a good wife material woman in a foreign country, it's getting slimmer.
You know what it is too, though? I'm gonna tell y'all what the problem is. You, along with the good is coming the bad. So it's like I told y'all, American men actually do have an opportunity because you're foreign. A lot of women think like this. A lot of women will date you just off of the strength of they get tired of putting up with the shit from their local men. So they're looking for a different experience, but a better experience, right? So I told y'all, like in Colombia, the men are not as communicative and attentive as the men here in Dominican Republic or even American men, right? So it's like the women get that frustrates the hell out of them. So what advantage do American men have? Well, American men can basically come in, and all American men have to do to have one up on Colombian men is just be more attentive to her. Like, listen to her, treat her like her opinions matter. And like, you're already winning. Do you understand? You're already winning in that regard. But if you come over and you behave like a male chauvinist, then you basically kind of take away some of the advantages that come with dating you for your personality, right? So, and what's happening is a lot of these men that are moving abroad, they don't understand that behavior is what kept them from being successful in the United States, and then they're bringing that same attitude to Latin America and not understanding that you already kind of were at one point kind of starting off with a clean slate to show a different side of yourself. But what it is a lot of these local women start getting done by getting done dirty by foreigners, that then they be like, well, forget it. If all y'all are good for is money, then that's what we're gonna use y'all for, money, and we're gonna run it up. We're gonna run up a bag on you, you know. And that's unfortunately how that goes when it's like you you show people, hey, you're not that much different than any other man, so I might as well just treat you like a check. That's just the reality.
Slimmer every damn day. And then it's not like that's what they even really looking for. If you look on their Instagram and go to their social media, they with the same type of hooker type females they could have met back home over here. Don't no real woman walk around with a body full of tattoos. I don't care if it's in America and I don't care if it's abroad. Cause if you go do your research, the first women to get tattoos was prostitutes, was whores, hookers. Real women did not get tattoos. Marked up like the 1987 L train on the west side of Chicago. If you go back and do your research in this country, the first women that you.
This AI tool is better than 11 Labs for one-time cost. Now you.
They used to get a bunch of tattoos was prostitutes, whores, if you go back and do your research. But then y'all will talk down on the woman over here that's, you know, built up like an IG chick, tattoos. She a slut. I wonder how many bodies she got. She probably got more bodies than the morgue in the third ward down in New Orleans. But yet, you going overseas, get with a goddamn Thai or a Dominican working girl that's got more damn bodies than Chicago, Los Angeles, Memphis, and New Orleans, and St. Louis, and Detroit graveyards combined. Make it.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000. I noticed too, when you date Latino men, the same. This is why I say I'm not trying to start no passport cis movement or nothing like that. But I've been very upfront that I've dated like Black and Latino men my whole life. But like, I'm not even gonna hold you. The conversations, like these red pill conversations and this stuff that's happening online, like the stuff that y'all be caring about, Latino men ain't never asked me about. Like, they don't ever care. Like, Latino men don't care if you got kids. If they like you, they don't give a damn about them kids. And Latino men, even in the United States, they don't really care about that kind of stuff. And like all this stuff about what you bring to the table, a Latino man is never gonna ask you no shit like that. He not. What else don't they care about? It's a lot of stuff they don't care about. Your sexual history, they don't care about that shit. Latino men don't care about none of that. They really don't. If they like you, they not asking none of that kind of shit, y'all. And I think in the United States, they don't care. In Colombia, they don't ask that kind of stuff. And here in Dominican Republic, they don't ask that kind of stuff. I mean, y'all might care to an extent, Romeo, like maybe to an extent. I mean, maybe if you knew a girl was a working girl, but I have never had a Latino man ask me that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's that y'all already can kind of pick up on a girl's personality or whatnot, if she's like just loose or out there. But I've never had a Dominican, I've never had a Colombian, like none of the men ask me about certain stuff. When I tell them I have a daughter, nobody cares. Like literally nobody cares. I never had not one man care at all. Respectfully, our women be having strong delusions. They will hear another chick rapping saying she wants someone with a law degree who's also a thug. That's retarded. Can I say that on here? I mean, I'm sure that exists somewhere, but and they will be out here looking for that. No, it gotta be in alignment. So like if you want a thug, then like you gotta expect the thug to have jobs thugs have, girl. So like it's no, hey, if you want a thug, girl. But maybe he steals catalytic converters and sell them for money. Or maybe he got a chop shop, or maybe he sells, illicit substances, or maybe he works a warehouse job, or maybe he owns, you know what? Thugs that have turned their life around, a lot of the times they'll own their own type of business. Maybe he's a blue collar worker, girl, but a thug and a lawyer, I don't know. It gotta be in alignment, girl. The Matrix, as we know it, no longer exists thanks to YouTube and the content creators who post videos showing that was once unknown about certain places. Okay. We're grown. Who asked about body count? Apparently they be asking. Apparently they do be asking. That's what they say. I personally have only had one person asked me, and it was when I was like young, like we were young. I guess maybe at that time, like when we were young, like, but like in my adult life and like my serious relation, like adult, like I've never had a man like ask me in my adult life, like being like super, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody asked that shit. And I think part of the reason why the men don't ask that is because they don't want you asking their business either. Like they don't want to have to be going through all that. Honestly, the type of dudes that I be dating now, most of the time they just don't even be wanting to talk about the past, that kind of stuff. They just be wanting like, okay, we dealing with each other now. A nigga with options ask about body count. I mean, but like, here's my point, Romeo. I think that's a pointless question. The reason why I think that's a pointless question is because you're completely relying on that person to tell you the truth. You gotta think about it like this. You're relying on that person to tell you the truth. And they already know that if you're asking that because you care. So now you're relying on that person to give you a truthful answer, to which 9 times out of 10, they're not. Because they already know you care, because if you didn't care, why the hell would you ask? Now, I just think it's a pointless question. I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna, like, if I was a dude, I would just assume, I don't know, pick a number that makes sense and just assume she done slept with at least that. Pick a number that makes sense and just assume she done slept with at least that. It's better to do that than just sit up and ask and worry about those things, in my opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong for caring about that. I'm just saying it's kind of like this. When women go ask a man if he's cheating. Now, he may or may not be cheating, but if he is, girl, do you think he's gonna say yeah? Okay. It's a pointless question.
Sense. And you know how they got that many bodies? Because they selling that peace leave for a living. Then you're going to try to justify, women over here doing the same thing. Then why not just get with them then? Oh, that's right. You claim you can't afford them. But you still spending a whole lot of money. $1,000 on a plane ticket.
Like prostitutes to working girl, like prostitutes to regular girls. You got to do the math on that. Okay. Let's say worst case scenario, let's say an American woman, this is worst case scenario, right? Is catching a new body every single month, right? So that's 12 men in a year, right? That's a lot. Now, the average working girl is catching a body 5 to 7 days out of the week, at least one body. You understand? It's not even close. If 5 different men do a girl just once, she's still more warned than if someone hit that every day. Or talking about like one person? Is that what you asked? Like if she slept with the same dude over and over?
Get a place to stay. Thinking you saving money because you paying for it cheap overseas. Where's the logic in that shit? Then not only that, I plan on doing a video on some bald head, smoke sausage, ham hock looking dude from over here that went to Thailand and married a well-known hooker. He married this girl. They got the certificate and everything.
But even that,
this is why y'all guys say don't bring them back.
It's high. That is subjective. That depends on the man. Like what you think is high. You get what I'm trying to say? What you think is high. I remember. Yeah. I remember when Brittany Renner, y'all remember Brittany Renner? Of course y'all know her. When she was saying that she admitted she slept with like 35 men. And people were saying like her body count was high, right? And I honestly thought it was going to be more, to be honest, because when you think about that industry that she's in, I'm pretty sure a majority of her peers, the women that are around her, have slept with way more men than that. Like the women in that industry, they're not going to come out and say it, but I'm sure they've slept with way more men than that. Because y'all got to understand the sheer amount of volume of men that are throwing themselves at those women. And then on top of that, men with money. Damn, so you finna be single forever. You finna be single forever. I'm just playing. I'm sure you'll find you a virgin somewhere.
To the States, because y'all know the type of women y'all going after. When survive, the relationship will not survive in the States. Y'all know that. At least you got that much common sense to know that. But when you think if you went and got a regular girl that came from a good background where you had to meet her parents and get the pop's permission to marry her, you don't think that would be a solid relationship, and that relationship would be able to survive anywhere, including the planet of Jupiter? No matter where you go, she gonna cheat regardless. Then when you tell y'all, if she cheated her home country, I could just replace her. You weak ass Negro, you weak. This is why I don't like kicking it with none of y'all guys. So make sure you leave your comments and your thoughts down below in the comment section.
Why y'all don't like travel Paul, because he really be telling y'all the truth. And I like these men that travel that gives balanced perspectives. You know, like I like men who like they might date foreign women, but they don't hate American women either. You know what I'm saying? I like them type because they're gonna come give you the real and give like a more balanced perspective and tell you what's really going on. What I'm saying is that the standards is if you want to figure out if a number is high or not. Okay. So if the standard is you got to be a virgin, anybody that's not a virgin got a high body count. That's what I'm saying. That's what it sounds like to me. If the standard is you got to be a virgin, anybody that's not a virgin got a high body count. I mean, that's the only conclusion I can come to. But again, these are only conversations that I'm having online. These are not conversations that even happen like in real life, is what I'm trying to say. So it's the Matrix. It's the Matrix. With that said, guys, I'm finna get off of here. I've been on here with y'all for like almost 3 hours. It's been real. Thank y'all for watching. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night.